Hello, everyone. We are back with ASL. It's Group C today. And of course, joining me is the one and only Eonzerg. What's up, man?
Hello, Nyoken. Hello, everyone. I'm super excited for today's games, man.
Yeah, we've got a very star-studded lineup. We've got Hiro, who goes deep every single season. We've got Bisu, your boy. And then we've got Soulkey, another fan favorite, and I know one of your favorite players. And then we've got the underdog, Ample. And so far in this season, the underdog has done very well. And with two Zergs in the group, I actually think Ample could have a shot if he gets both Zergs.
Actually, I think yes. Like his Terran versus Zerg is looking so good these days. I mean, I can't really think any Terran that is not having like a good TPC these days. But um, yeah, he has like some interesting build orders. I feel like my thing with him is that he's not really being tested to the like really long games. But when it comes to like build order optimization and timing attacks, I think he shined the most.
Yeah, that's true. Like his 5 racks timing was really strong in the round of 24. It is still going to be very hard though because it is Hiro and Soulkey who are very good versus Terran. However, in the group selection, I could understand a little bit of what they were saying, and Ample actually really wanted to get into Group C. He wanted to not be in Group A or B. I'm not sure exactly what he was trying to dodge there, but he at least got what he wanted. And then Soulkey, from what it sounded like, really wanted to be in Group A or B and did not want to be in C or D. So maybe this is actually a better shot for Ample than I was anticipating. But what about our Zerg players? What are you looking for from them?
Um, I mean, this is such a scary group with Bisu. I feel like these two, Solki and Hiro, they actually they struggle a bit against Bisu. So I'm not really sure what I'm expecting from them, but I'm just like praying that please don't die to mass coursers, please don't die to some sneaky DT, please don't die to DT drop, or just just please don't die to Bisu multitasking. And I feel like that's too much to ask for.
Yeah, Beast's multitask is amazing, right? And he's well known for his Zerg versus Protoss ever since he bursted onto the scene. It feels like his Protoss has always been top notch in that matchup. And we were talking before the stream turned on, and you were saying that 100% Bisu's gonna make it out. What do you think makes Bisu so deadly in PvZ?
I mean, I can is like it's funny because like the Protoss race is a race that usually you just like you can chill back, like build your army, do your stuff, like oh, usually it's like very chill. When you make the cannon, you can actually like chill a lot
Yeah.
behind the scenes, But in Visu's case, like he's actually like putting pressure on you all the time, and just suffocate you so much that you don't even know what you're doing anymore. So it's like there is always that you need to take care about. There is a defense you need to pull. Uh, there is always like a silhouette with an insane micro that you need to deal with. And I feel like it's every detail, like every tiny detail that you can actually like pull in StarCraft. And like Bisu can do it very well. Like I honestly have seen like Terran players like do this kind of play and serve players, but it's like extremely rare to see a Protoss player with such multitasking. Apart from Bisu, I feel like only Mini can actually like play at that high standard. But I would say like Bisu is way better than Mini in that aspect of the game.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, it's funny you mentioned Mini because I was thinking the same thing when we were talking about multitasking. But I agree with your statements where he just suffocates you, like while he's doing the impeccable zealot micro. At the same time, if an invisible man runs into your main, you could be losing drones left and right, and you have no idea. So yeah, this guy's very dangerous in PvZ. Like I said, ever since he came onto the scene, he's always been a PvZ specialist, and that was like 15 years ago. So it's nice to see that things really haven't changed. But as far as ZVZ, we could see that every single season. I've heard Soulkey, he's not that great ZVZ, but he always delivers ZVZ. If we get a Hiro versus Soulkey matchup, how do you think that's going to go?
I think I'm going to favor Hiro in a CBC against Soulkey. Because just like Hiro, over the years, he's always been so solid in CBC. Um, like, he knows so many optimizations in CBC. He knows so many tricks. He knows how to use every build order. And I feel like the knowledge for Hiro in CBC is like higher than Soulkey. But Soulkey as well, he's extremely strong as well. It doesn't really mean that, well, the guy is trash. No, it's not trash. And he can play very well. And as long as the build orders actually goes into his favor, he should be able to take this.
All right, well, we'll be looking for that. I can't remember who's the one that hid like a hatchery a couple seasons ago. For some reason, Hiro's coming to mind, actually, not Soulkey. But I am looking forward to that ZVZ, especially since we've seen some pretty good ZVZs in the past few weeks, whether it's the action versus effort game, which was wild, got the hive tech, or, we just had last week Calm with interesting hatch placement. I wonder if either of these players will see that and think, maybe that's a way I could sneak out a win. Just get an extra 1 or 200 gas, have an extra 1 or 2 mutas, and translate that into a victory. Because we know ZVZ is very low econ almost every single game.
Yeah, for sure. That could be interesting. My thing is that build, in my opinion, if you're not playing against a 9 pool, and your opponent is just like, imagine like you're doing a 12 pool, right? And the hatchery inside the main, but the opponent is doing a 12 pool and the hatchery in the natural. Like, you are like, it's automatic, you are behind.
Yeah, that specific scenario, you would be very, very behind. I wonder if anybody will ban Invader because of that. We saw Queen pull out, the long distance mining of the gas on Invader since the gas was so close. Polypoid, where Calm pulled it out, that's a little different because of how far away it was. He had to commit like seven drones to mine that effectively.
In my experience, Zerg players don't really care too much about the maps when it comes to CBC.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be like a personal preference that you actually dislike the map so much. But overall, like, when do you ask any Zerg player, to play a CBC, they don't really care too much. Like, I feel like that's mostly important when you play a Protoss or a Terran that, like certain style actually like it's just like hard countering you and you want to avoid that kind of map.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that is true. Something that I've had not considered.
Because like I can think like in Terran versus Terran, you probably want to avoid a map that has like position imbalance, right? But in a
Yeah.
CPC, that is probably not something important because there are no units that can like hit your main from outside like siege tanks, right? So that, in my opinion, that is not really important for certain players.
Yeah, instantly what came to mind is not that I think the map is in balance, but La Campanella, it's got interesting features to it with the back path behind the natural, where players that excel with something unusual in terms of builds like Tank Goliath drops or Wraith play, which I know Sock likes, all of a sudden builds like Vultures aren't that great anymore, and that could be a good pick when you're playing somebody like Rush or Royal who love to go Vultures. But yeah, I agree
Let's
with
say
that.
Nyoken, if you remember this map, electric circuit,
Yeah.
based on the spawn, your links get trapped or not. So playing CBC on that map wasn't really ideal. So that's probably one of the maps that I think like Zerg players actually will like to ban. But we don't have that map in the ASL anyway.
Yeah, actually I was streaming yesterday, and it's the first time that I ended up playing the ASL maps. I gotta say, I actually like them quite a bit. I think La Campanella is my favorite map out of all of them. I like the versatility of builds, especially in Terran versus Terran, because I personally don't like Vulture versus Vulture every single game, which is what the meta currently is. What do you think about the maps? What's your favorite one? Like, if you had to say, this is the one that I want to risk my life on in a tournament, which one do you like?
That is too complicated. It's too early for me to put such a statement.
Okay.
But at the same time, I can tell you the maps I'm having the most fun right now are Invader and Apocalypse. Those are the two maps that I really like. I enjoy playing, but I have to say, like every map is so intuitive. Like is so natural to get in and play games. And I really like that experience. I didn't play La Campana so far because there are too many new maps to focus on. But eventually I will unban it and put effort into learning it. But I have to say, like so far, every map just feel natural. It doesn't even feel like I need to learn like new maps and new mechanics or any of that. It's just like get in, play your game, and have fun.
Yeah, that's true. I'm surprised that you liked Invader so much because we did map reviews and we both agreed that bottom left, like how do you get any of those bases and defend them? But you actually like Invader? Like is it a specific matchup you like?
It's actually very fun to play. Like overall, like against every race, it's an extremely fun to play. I guess it probably fit my play style as well. I guess, but it's just like way too fun to play. Yeah, you can like go to so many places, attack from so many different places. It's not really an static map that you are like forced to confront with your opponent right away. And you know, like as a third player, you usually most of the cases you just die if you just like so as a third player, like you coming from different sides and having like different options. It's really cool in my opinion. Obviously, like spending is can be a challenge sometimes, but overall, like for sure, like it's one of the most fun maps I am playing right now.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to get a read on these stats. I think the first one says 7 times in a row, or 7 times Heroes made it to the round of 16. This is the first time Amples made it to the round of 16, so that's great for him. And then I think it says Soulkey only made it past the round of 8 once, if I can read that correctly. And I'm not sure exactly what it says as far as Bisu's statistic right there. But our first matchup, who's it going to be? It is going to be Hiro, and he is going to be facing off versus Ample. And like we stated, Ample played really well in the round of 24. So even though I really do like Hiro overall, I actually think Ample's got a really decent shot here versus Hiro.
Yeah, those stats, man. If you remove actually the games against Flash, they are pretty decent stats.
Yeah. Yeah, and those stats that we just saw, those are like legit stats. Like that's 60 games versus Terran. So that tells you how consistent Hiro is in that matchup, but it also tells you how many seasons he's been playing in ASL because there's not very many players that have that many games just flat out in total, and he has that versus one specific race.
Indeed, indeed. Like guess Queen, like for example, Queen extremely skilled player, and it's like very recently that he actually made the back-to-back championship run. Like before that, he was like getting eliminated early on, always. So, like Hiro, you can't really deny that the consistent of Hiro. I don't think like anyone else that can actually like say like, oh, I made that many runs. I can't really think anyone to be honest, Nyoken. Like apart from Flash winning that many ASLs, um, who else is that consistent in the ASL?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's just every single season, Hero's not just in ASL, he's always deep in the tournament. I was going to say best, but that's not true. Like, he's consistently round of 16, but not really necessarily round of 8 or round of 4.
Yeah, I can't really think any other player more consistent than Hiro apart from Flash.
Yeah. Well, our players are ready. It's time for our first game of the day. It's Group C. It's going to be that man right there facing off versus Ample in a TVZ on Retro. And in the top right are Red Zerg. It is the one and only Hiro facing off a newcomer into the round of 16. It is Ample.
And we are starting with Retro Nyoken. Usually in this map, like the most classic build is the 2.5 hatchery. Um, I have to be honest with you. I still didn't really like master or learn perfectly the build order, so I'm not really like getting fully the benefits of doing this. But apparently this is like the most popular build right now from Zerg players.
Okay, well, we'll be looking to see if that's going to be the case. This is going to be, I think, just a depot wall. SCV went a little bit too quick for it to be an 8 racks, and there's going to be the depot in just a second. And in normal ample fashion, this is what I call the ample wall, where there's going to be a gap between the depot and the racks. He always loves to have a little bit of freedom to move his units in and out. And Hiro, he's actually going for a 9 pool. Or is that, or did he already build an overlord? No, he already built an overlord.
Yeah, would be crazy to do a 9 pool
Yeah.
here, to be honest, but to start the best of 1, but it's possible because like this is ample, you know, it's dangerous. I'm not really sure he is like a guy that uses 9-9 barracks or 8 barracks very often, but I mean, you know, best of 1, everything is possible. Like Bolster actually did 3 times the 9-9 rush against Yellow, so what is an A-class?
Yeah. Well, this is what I was waiting to see, is how many drones is Hiro gonna build afterwards, and the answer is he's built 1 additional drone, so it's slightly greedy, not over the top though that we've seen in the past. I've seen a few 13 pools, something along those lines. And we've got the drone moving out for a scout. He is going to luckily find ample first, and we'll see that, hey, no 8 racks, but it is going to be a wall.
Yeah, and I feel like Hiro is going to be doing that 2.5 hatchery optimization. I have to say, like 12 pool, it's a bit greedy against 8 racks, but he's lucky that Ample is not really doing it. So right now the experience is playing off for Hiro.
Yeah, we do have the double scout from Ample. He's playing it really safe here. I think this is a smart move because on a map like Retro, where 8 racks is somewhat common, if Zerg had opened pool first, you really want to know if those wings are coming or not. Mierin does deny the drone from getting in, but the drone did see the SCV building that command center, so Hiro should know that, hey, this guy didn't, you know, go 1-1-1 or anything. It is just a normal opener, and there goes that drone out from Hiro. Oh, actually, I thought he was going to send it to another base, but he's actually just transferring to the natural.
That refinery timing, Nyoken, he's going engineering bay first, I feel like.
Yeah, this is going to be the same build that he pulled out versus, was it Queen on Apocalypse? Can't remember exactly the Zerg, but everything so far looks identical. The gas rush into eBay. The real question is how many barracks is it going to be followed up with? You know, I was talking about how it's hard to play 5 racks into 2 hatch, but he made it work, and maybe he'll try it again.
Yeah, but in these positions like this, I will be surprised to see a 5 barracks. But who knows, because at the same time Hiro's doing a 2.5 hatchery. If it was a classic 2 hatch muta, I would say like 100%, nah, you're not doing 5 barracks. I mean, unless it's cross spawns.
Well, critical information right there. Spots the hatchery in the main. Now he knows that there is no 3rd hatch on out in the map anywhere. And we're gonna have the fire come down in just a second. He's still hiding it.
Oh.
Alright, well, we've got the academy almost done too. So he's gonna have very quick upgrades here. Overall, I really do like Ample's position, especially getting all the intel that he got and seeing that it's a 2.5 hatch, so he can really, you know, scale his barracks count without having to build a lot of turrets beforehand.
Yeah, so far it's a very classic game here. Hiro only making 6 Zerglings, droning like crazy. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's looking like very standard. Ample right now with 3 barracks is probably going to make it to 4.
Yep, there's going to be the 4th one, and just like, was it Light or JYJ, Ample ends up putting down his comm set actually surprisingly quick. He's got 1 at his natural. We're going to have a 6 Marine, 1 medic move out. There's a fire bat blocking the entrance, and that means that Hiro probably going to have to put down a Sunken because this spire is not done just yet.
Yeah, but this is not really danger here. It's only one medic. Oh my god, it's losing Marines.
Yeah, not dangerous. And now we know why he rushed that comm set, because he wanted to make sure that this guy builds a sunken. Now that he sees that he built a sunken, he's just going to back off. So, well done. Well, nice move out. Only lost 1 or 2 Marines there.
Yeah, Fireball going out. You know, going to scout that tear gas from Zerg. And Hiro's going to take a close expansion here? No, he's going to take a new main, okay. Because if you take like a close expansion, maybe there was like a potential for doing a Hydra build, Hydra Lurker build. But with far expansion, we're probably going to see a more classic Zerg versus Terran.
Yeah, and that Firebat barely escapes with his life to bottom left. Meanwhile, turrets are already up. Muta's coming in. Snipe a single SCB. Now, because it is a 4 racks as opposed to 5 racks, Ample should be able to attack relatively quickly. So far, Mutas haven't really done much. One of the Mutas took heavy damage there, and we do have the Hatchery at top left, like you said. Now, what I'm looking for right now is that Hydrogen timing, because I don't think we're going to have mass Muta play like we saw from Queen and Jadon.
No, it's only 7 mutas so far, and he's doing like very well to be only 7 mutas, I have to say. Hiro is building eco, but you know what? There is a timing from Ample, and I'm curious what is this going to accomplish.
Yeah, you got to remember, because he rushed his eBay so quickly, these Marines should have +1 now, and they do. And the Firebat found top left, so he knows where the hatch is. He can branch off a couple Marines whenever he feels like they're in the darkness, that they're hidden away from the mutas, and actually go for a small attack up there. Meanwhile, Hiro's decided, hey dude, you're completely out of position in your main, I'm just gonna counter you.
Yeah, I'm surprised there is only 1 turret in that main.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised that Ample, even though he's losing a lot of Marines here, he didn't take as much damage as I thought. I thought the SCV line would get ransacked a little bit more than it did. Okay, now we're starting to rack up some SCV kills. And Muta's, they find the opening at the natural, but instead he's going to back off. There are so many turrets all over the place, but there's not really a lot of turrets clumped up together.
This is a really good Muta damage, Nyoken. This totally killed the timing from Ample now. A Hero expansion, like tier base now is going to be saturated like perfectly. I don't know, I feel like Ample is in troubles here.
Yeah, Hiro's definitely in the driver's seat. I guess one good thing for Ample is when we got a scan of the natural, there were 5 Sunkens built. That's a big commitment in terms of drones, but overall those mutas definitely worth their while. They did a lot of damage to the Marine count, also a lot of damage to the SCV count, and I know Ample's building into his starports, but by the time those vessels get out, don't think he's going to be able to really do much damage with them.
Hiro, man, Hiro need to be careful because there is one Firebat hitting in his tier base and he's waiting for the drones, and look at this. What? He didn't kill anything.
Oh, he needs to get 3 shots off. He'll get 1 drone, I think, maybe 2. Stemming for it. Oh, goodbye. Alright, well, it did draw all the mutas back, but unfortunately, Ample didn't make a move out onto the map. But look at that bio count. That's half his army in the main. There's the other half right there. So his army is very fearsome.
And the thing is, like, now he's like scared because there are so many Sunkens in the map that if actually Hiro just like counterattack again, he's going to be like exposed.
Yeah, and what I'm worried about is, I think those are lurkers morphing in the center of the map. Okay, now they've completed, and we'll start moving to top left. But I thought maybe Ample could hit top left before Hiro gets lurkers in position. Those Marines, they're moving quite quickly. Yeah, I thought some of them were being stemmed, but lurkers are going to be set up. Okay, look at this. We may have some hold position lurkers. I love it. Oh, he saw it just barely. Oh. Wow. It is clutch that Hiro was watching that, because if those 2 lurkers got killed, all of a sudden there's only 1 lurker on the ramp, and easily Ample could have busted it.
A bit of miss micro by Hiro here. So far he's playing like a really good game, but you know, like making my micro mistakes like this. Now he has like less mutas to deal with draw chips if they are going to come.
Yep, I was just about to say that. I would love to see drops come out from Ample right now. but it is just going to be vessels. So
actually, Hiro remade some mutas, so muta count is still healthy after all.
yeah, after rebuilding those 3 or 4 mutas, actually the drop probably would have backfired. But if there were 2 drops somehow right up there, right as that happened, I think he could have gotten some damage done. But now that top left has kind of been secured, what do you do as Ample? Like, he didn't really get much damage done. His vessels coming out at a normal timing, but the lurker count is so huge, don't think he can really bust anywhere, and instead, we are going to see a 3rd command center come down in a second.
How many lurkers there are in that national, Nyoken, apart from the 5 Sunkers?
There's a lot. There's just 1 at the natural right now, but there's a decent amount in the main with a lot of lings too.
Yeah, the thing is, like, with 2 vessels right now, and the amount of lurkers there is, like, even if you irradiate the lurkers, then you're not going to make any progress. So, I mean, I guess irradiating, so, like, right now is, like, the best you can do. Like, apart from that, with no draw chips, like, how do you put, like, pressure?
Well, there's a random lurker up there. I don't think I've ever seen that before. We do have some macro hatches coming down. Okay, he's gonna go for it, but there's no fire bats here, like, mixed in for him to bust through the lurker line. I don't think that this was, well, okay, he's gonna keep focus firing those lurkers. Okay, the defensive matrix.
There is Nidus and there is more units in the other side. He just loses his whole army, and
yeah,
that was a big throw.
Yeah, if there were fire bats in there, double D-Matrix fire bats, then that's a little bit of a different story. He could have gotten in there, killed the lings really quickly, didn't have to deal with moving into mutas, and you know the Marines drawing your attention here. We've got a drop follow-up. Now this is kind of what I was worried about, is there was no Marine medic on the right side of the map, and that means that the lings and the lurkers just move freely across. There's no vessel here either. We're going to have a Dark Swarm right on his doorstep, and Ample, unless he can get this drop off and deal catastrophic damage, he's going to be in a world of hurt.
This could be really interesting because, like, both players multitasking, who knows who is going to defend the best.
Oh, but there's not much defense at top left. Remember, there's a lot of bio at the low ground too, so a drop into the main, or drop into the top left base, while also a lot of units on the low ground. This could be a base trade scenario. If Ample sends back his vessels, he may be able to hold his nat. We got fire bats mixed in also. You don't need that many fire bats to actually knock down a single lurker. Oh, well, Ample's actually decided that he's going to go and try and drop the main now. So he's going to be everywhere, but the natural's been breached.
Yeah, elevator here in that main Nyoken, and all the units went to the tier base.
He sniped the defiler in the main. Okay, a second one pops out. The lurkers are now finally getting into position at the natural to start shutting down the mining. There's no fire bats in this army, so these things are going to be very strong. A single irradiate goes off, but it's just so hard to multitask all these areas at the same time.
Yeah, and Hiro doing perfect defense and at the same time attacking Terra Natural. I feel like this is just like too much for Ample now.
Yeah, we look at the supplies, 85 to 85, both players banking up a lot of resources because of all the action. And I agree, I think that now that the drop's been shut down and that the natural's been completely wiped, we're going to see GG any moment. The SV count is just almost nothing at this point.
Yeah, this is just like... I mean, he can irradiate this army, but... Well, he has a tier expansion, Nyoken.
Oh, he does?
Like, in theory, it's 3 bases against 3 bases, and the game can continue. But the thing is that, like, Hiro can, like, keep attacking because he has, like, the eco, and... You know, like, Terra doesn't have that many units anymore.
Yeah, Terran's army count is really low. I did forget about the third base at bottom middle, so even though he lost, I think, something like 15 SCVs, he'll be able to replenish his econ, replenish his SV count quite quickly. Maybe he'll be able to stabilize, because one thing that didn't happen is what we just saw a moment ago, is the vessel count never got whittled down. So there's still a lot of pressure with the 5 or 6 vessels that he does have. There's only 1 dropship remaining.
I mean, Ample is going rampage here, like going out with all the army and the very few units at the main. He dropped it, he put it in the draw chip, and now he's like in trouble dealing with Zerglings.
Well, the thing is he knows how much production Zerg has. He knows that if he sits here, he's just going to get overwhelmed. So he might as well try and make something happen. So far, he hasn't really done much. The 4th base is in fact going up. And we've got Ultralisk Cavern going down for Hiro.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the upgrades from the Zerg player. But it feels to me like Ample Army is like taking too much time to deal with the Zerglings. So it's +1 card pace, so it's not that high. Unless like Ample didn't keep upgrading.
Yeah, I think Ample must be at least +2 weapon by now. He is doing a good job to kind of restabilize, again denying another attack from those lurkers and defilers. Lings come in here and not going to get much damage done. But the problem is from Ample is that the Ling lurker defiler attack is just always going to keep coming. Anytime Hiro sees these vessels all the way across the map, you know he's going to instantly punish it. And look at it, he's going into the natural in just a moment again.
Oh,
He's going to lose more vessels.
okay, not the best play, but losing 2 vessels, man, like, I'm really like... I mean, he can't really like, afford to lose that many units either.
Yeah, he can't afford to lose much. He really needs to get this defiler. There's no Dark Swarm or no Radiate Energy just yet. So the Lurkerlings have now breached the natural again. Meanwhile, Ample's army in the center of the map really isn't doing much at all.
That main now is exposed on Nyoken and Hiro. He's going to probably send all his units now to the Terran base.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the end. The moment where Terran players they realize their fate. Once the Ling Flood and the Ultra Flood starts coming, it's just never going to stop. For now, there's not that much of an army for Hiro, just Lings bleeding in.
Yeah, but he's like advancing in the mid of the map right now, in the center. I mean, actually, he's directing to the tier base of Terran. So if he actually stopped that base from mining, I feel like that's it. That's it for Ample.
Yeah, that's all Hiro really needs to do. We're at 17 minutes in the game. That's basically the time when Terran's going to mine out their main. You're going to put Terran down to 1 base versus 4 base Zerg. That's just not a game-winning situation for Terran ever. Lurkers get into position on the 3rd base. Goodbye bunker. Probably goodbye a lot of these SCVs too.
Yeah, man, Ample lose so much momentum doing that big attack to Hiro tier base. I mean, usually at this specific timing, like Terran is in the 180 supply, 170, and like Zerg is like ahead.
Yeah. And you've got to be around that supply, because once the floodgates open, it's so hard to be everywhere as Terran and defend all your bases. Like, you really got to have your bases already set up and in position, and the fact that Ample just was never able to do that, you can see exactly what happens in a normal Zerg versus Terran. Terran just gets picked apart. There's so many macro hatches. Zerg Econ is ballistic on 4 bases with 4 base gas.
Yeah, at least the bases are doing work. It's doing good irradiates. But it's just like the army size, just he can't match it.
Yeah, what Hiro needs to do is he just needs to get a consolidated army. Right now, it's just 115 supply versus 115, so for now, Ample's trading actually decently, because every time I look at the army, it's like 1 defiler, 20 lings, and that's it. But
1 dropship coming to the tier base of Hiro Nyoken. That is good damage actually to that eco.
Yeah, there's a lot of
He's going to kill the Nidos?
Oh, he did! Okay, so he will actually shut down this base for a little bit of time, but the dropship's going to get intercepted. That's going to die. Marines are going to die now that Lings come in here. More Lings into the 3rd base. Surprisingly, those Lings got through.
Yeah, Lings are very strong right now. Nyoken 2-2.
2-2 upgrades. It's like 9 hatch production for Hiro right now. Every time I look at his gas is so low, and I keep thinking to myself, where's all that gas going? Because he's got 4 gases. I would expect to have seen at least some Ultralisk by now.
Other cursor.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh.
Goodbye.
-1.
Okay, there we go. There's the Ultralisk. 4 pop out, but the 7 vessels are already there. They just irradiate half of them in an instant. BC will pick off a couple Scourge. Bottom middle again getting ransacked by these Lings.
Yeah, Hiro is playing like very convincing in this game. Very, very solid. I have to say, Apple didn't really test him too much, in my opinion. But like very solid game by Hiro. I feel like this is going to be already the end of the game, Nyoken.
Well, Ample's holding on for now. We've got the Haymaker Ultralist right there, the Irradiate, just running into the army. Goodbye,
Yeah, you
Marine.
have this ultra, this irradiate at your natural. It's not a good signal.
Yeah, not looking great. Also sub 100 supply for Terran versus Zerg that's now on 5 bases. Just needs to send some drones up there. Scourge looking for the vessel kills. Once the vessels die, this could be the game-ending move. Because at this point, how do you ever kill any of the high-tech units? You're just never going to. There go 2 vessels right there.
You can. There is no eco, Nyoken. There is usually at this stage of the game, you need to like to be on 4 bases.
Yeah, you gotta be set up at this point. They're too mobile. Their army's very strong. And there's the GG. Hiro's gonna take it versus Ample. I agree with your sentiment that Ample was in a pretty okay position, but as soon as he made that move to top left, that's when all the momentum really shifted in Hiro's favor.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm very like happy for Hiro. I feel like it's probably the performance you expected against someone like Ample, like a guy that makes semifinals like every ASL season. So I'm not really surprised. Honestly, I can't really get too much from this game apart from that. Yeah, solid game by Hiro.
Yep, well done from Hiro. I think Ample, even though he lost that game, and even though the attack to top left was a little bit too much, you still got to be worried as a Zerg player if we see another ZVT between a Zerg and Ample going up against him, because he's showing like clearly, dude, like if I even think that you're vulnerable for a second, I'm just gonna jump on you. Like he really went for it. And then also this drop to top left, he knew that a lot of the units were out of position and he continued the aggression with a drop into the main. But this one drop that didn't get loaded up instantly, that backfired because there wasn't really critical mass Marines initially. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't
Yeah,
able to attack like right when he wanted to.
you know what? I asked myself if 2 or 3 firebats will make a
Yeah.
difference with these drops.
Oh
Because there
yeah.
was like only Serlis defending.
Yeah, for sure. Like just 1 or 2 would have been game changing because like you said, the army from Hiro even up until like 18 minutes was only Lings basically the entire game.
Yeah, and the counter attack to the natural was like really good by Hiro. But to be honest, like Ample put it easy on him.
We've got a lot of Hero fans right there. For some reason he's called Bear, like the animal bear. I'm not sure exactly the reasoning, but that's why you saw those bear pictures. Anyways, we're going to be going into game 2, but first we've got a break, so we'll be back in a couple minutes. And we are back. We're going to be going into our Zerg versus Protoss. As you can see there, it's going to be Soulkey versus Bisu. We've got high hopes for Bisu in this group, since he's such a good Protoss versus Zerg specialist. But what do you think about Soulkey's shot versus him?
Well, he has a good shot because Soulkey, he has like a insane arsenal of crazy builds he can pull, like so many crazy timings, and he's like very good in like macro wise as well in CVP. Actually, recently I saw a game from KCN Soulkey against Bisu on the map Tempest, and actually it was like insane micro game and like Soulkey destroyed Bisu. So I feel like he has like a good shot, but I have to say like Bisu he has like a really good shot as well.
Yeah, we've got a lot of Bisu fans in the crowd that says Bisu God. So obviously a fan favorite, at least in this particular matchup. You know, I don't play Zerg or Protoss, but I've heard a lot about Soulkey's Zerg versus Protoss. A lot of my friends say that he's got a unique style, plays low econ sometimes, doesn't necessarily play, 3-hatch or 5-hatch. Like he may go, 2-hatch mutas and then transition into like 4 or 5-hatch. What do you think about moves like that on retro?
Uh, Nyoken, I don't really see that strategy
No.
very often. Did you say the 2-hatch mute?
Yeah, I remember Machine telling me that Soulkey played really low econ, like in a year or two ago, and then transitions it into bigger econ in Zerg versus Protoss.
Was that a Benzine or something? I have seen Soma doing that style, but I think I didn't see that in a long time. Apart, I mean, like, someone that actually did that recently was Ivory, but
Okay.
that didn't work out very well against Bisu.
Yeah, that is true. The double Stargate in the main versus mass muta is not an ideal strategy for Ivory in that particular matchup. We did just get a look at Soulkey's Zerg versus Protoss stats, if I saw that correctly. About a 60% win rate. That is extremely high. Whereas Bisu, he's got a matching win rate. We knew it was going to be high. It's also a 60% win rate, and it is also across 60 games. So you know that's a legit win rate right there.
Yeah. It's a very, very good stats, by the way. I feel like Bisu has been in the tier place of ASL like multiple times, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember exactly.
I'm pretty sure he beat Larva for a tier place match. Um, I don't remember who else, but I feel like he has been on the tier place match at least 2 times, minimum.
All right, well, I'll have to check that out later. I can't remember exactly. I just remember. Well, maybe that is right. I think I remember seeing, was it Light versus Bisu in recent memory? Can't remember exactly, but regardless, our players are ready. It's time for Soulkey versus Bisu. Again, it's going to be on retro. And in the bottom left are red Zerg. It is Soulkey. And in the bottom right, the legend himself. It is Bisu.
Yeah, now I was thinking about like the Zerg players playing against Bisu. I feel like most of the time these guys, I mean, unless you are Shine, but most of the time they try to play a build order that is like an advantage to the server against Protoss, like a hatchery first or stuff like that. But I was thinking like, well, do you really want to do like a hatchery first against someone doing that crazy silhouette micro? Yeah, I mean, if you defend it without any losses, that is perfect. But if you actually like, you made a mistake and start to lose drones and serlings, that is trouble.
Yeah, we're going to have a 9 gate from Bisu. We've got the probe hanging around. So you could be right. Going for the fast hatch could backfire instantly. What I wanted to ask was, I remember last week we were talking about 973 a little bit, and you were saying that maps like Polypoid were good for 973. What about Retro here? You think that's a possibility that we could see 973 here, or not really?
I'm not really sure because look at the Soulkey position. What do you take your first expansion if you go like a 973? You probably have to take like bottom mid.
Okay, expand towards Protoss. I don't think Zerg players want to do that, do they?
Yeah. And then like top left is like so far and so hard to defend. I'm not really sure. Like, wait a minute, is Soulkey like did open overpool?
Yeah, he went overpool as soon as he saw the probe move out.
Okay, taking that far expansion. But they are scouting each other first, Nyoken. Unless like Soulkey goes crazy here with mass Zerglings, the game is going to be like very stable.
Yeah, this looks just like a normal Protoss versus Zerg so far. Every time I see this type of opener, really the only thing I'm looking for is how many Zealots is it going to be from Protoss. We've got the first couple Lings popping out, first Zealot moving out. Overlord's going to intercept the Zealot, so he's going to know exactly where it is.
I will be surprised to see Bisu commit to fight these Zerglings. He's coming back, right?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, with the Overlord spotting where it is, you gotta be very careful, because the Lings can easily surround those Zealots. But at the same time, where the Zealot is right now, he can engage on the ramps. And we know that Zealots trade extremely well versus Lings in that scenario. Soulkey has moved around 3 Lings to try and go for a counterattack, but Bisu already in position for it.
Okay, nice. He completed the wall, so he's totally safe. But you know what? I feel like with this amount of Zerglings like Soulkey made, Bisu is not really in a rush to make cannons.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's got his Nexus coming down. Forge was definitely just to get a better Sim City for him. He wants to put on some pressure with these 2 remaining Zealots. The probe is still alive, so he is trying to get some more intel. There we go, good defense right there.
Yeah, and Soulkey, he better didn't like. I hope he didn't overdrone, like he's making drones now. He has to deal with these 2 Zealots.
Yeah, 3 Zealots versus 6 Lings. Everybody knows how that's going to go. It's going to go heavily in favor of the Protoss player unless we've got some Lings coming through the backside. But like I was saying, like there's a lot of ramps here. He can engage very effectively, but instead he's going to try and run by, get into the sweet spot behind the minerals.
Well, one Zealot actually in the natural Nyoken, and this is the multitasking I'm talking about from Bisu, is already making troubles for the Zerg.
Yeah, Zerg's got 3 hatches, but really not mining that well from their expansions. We've got a Hydroden in the main of Soulkey. That probe is randomly out in the center of the map. If he had gotten into the main, it's completely wide open. He could have scouted it, but so far, the hatch or the Hydroden has gone unscouted, and it's going to be on Bisu to try and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, but since Bisu is sending Zerglings like this, Zealots like this, like he's going to have like information of what Soulkey is doing exactly. Look at this, like 3 more Zealots.
Yep, and he has a lot of Lings at the 3rd base also.
By the way, he made Zergling speed to fake that he's going like lair. But I'm not really sure if actually like Bisu is like believing this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this, to me, this speed feels a little slow. Not that I know the exact timing, but I feel like I've seen it come. Oh my god, that drone was a game saver. If the Hydroden gets scouted, this entire build of Soulkey is completely down the drain. Now, there's a lot of Zealots exposed, while also Soulkey's got a ton of Lings out on the map.
Yeah, but he will know Nyoken 100% that Soulkey is doing that. There are no more hatcheries, no more drones. And Bisu knows that they're Hydras, and he is even scouting the Hydras now.
Yep, scouts the Hydras, and that means panic time for Bisu. He's got to get down those cannons. Getting a Hydra there is actually a decent deal too, even if it's just 1.
He needs more cannons. because like Soulkey got so much damage, like I'm starting to believe like he's going all in with this.
Yeah, this does look like an all-in. Like, there's no lair. There's not that many drones. There were so many lanes built to deal with the zealots that the drone count is extremely low. There's only 4 cannons.
That's a good amount of Zerglings that can tank damage now.
Okay, but the Hydras are focusing down the zealots. They really need to start getting the cannons. The cannons are the real threat here. I don't know.
More Zerglings.
This is close. Wow, he's pulling probes. He knows that it's an all-in here. Here comes the Hydras. Zerglings get on top of the cannons. They deal a lot of damage, actually. Focusing down that back cannon. He's going to get it, but he's going to lose a lot of his Hydras, and the remaining Hydras are quite low.
There is no transition. Nyoken is still making units, and
He might have done
you
it.
better make like 20 cannons because there is no transition from this.
Yeah, he may have done it because 6 Hydras will beat 1 Zealot and 1 Hydra. He leads in with a full HP Hydra first. Well done from him. Pops that cannon instantly. If he can knock down the Forge, that could be great, but one of the Hydras die. Oh, Zealot.
Killing Forge is not enough. You need to kill the Protoss.
Yeah, but it's also going to open up a little bit of surface area to get in there. It's 10 Hydras, 12 Hydras. Okay, he's going to jump on it before those cannons complete. One of them gets popped. But
he's already making silos from the main Nyoken,
Yeah.
so he's going to have like a good number of silos to deal with the Hydras as well, plus the cannon support. I don't see Bisu is dying to this.
yeah, I think he held it. I think he's going to have his Zealots start kicking in just a second. He also had a Citadel in his main, so speed should be kicking in momentarily. It's a pretty quick upgrade, so speed should be done in just
Wait,
a few
what?
seconds.
He's going lair already. 4 hatcheries lair.
Yeah, he realizes that, hey, I've got to transition out of this. Like, this isn't going to work. But the Corsair spots it. So Bisu knows that this pressure is over and that he's held this attack.
Yeah, but he makes so many units and has like no drones. Like, look at the natural. There is like 2 drones, I think. And there is like 8 drones in the main. He doesn't even have 9. So, yeah, I feel like if you want to transition from that timing now, you're too behind. Like, Bisu has Citadel, is going to have like Templar Archive as well. So, Soulkey is in troubles.
Yeah, he is in trouble. I think he's done a good job to catch up now that he's starting to rebuild his drone count, but supplies a little bit skewed in Bisu's favor. There's a lot of Zealots right there just waiting for speed. At least he got the Forge upgrade, so +1 is a long ways away. SimCity is pretty good at both the natural and the third base, but I actually think Soulkey needs to start running now. I don't see how he's going to trade effectively once the speed Zealots kick in, but we'll see.
Well, he doesn't have the +1 attack. So that is something.
Okay, this is a lot of Zealots. So this is like 12 Zealots, and there goes speed. So he is going to run away.
Yeah, Bisu killing that Overlord. Soulkey forced here to make Sunkens to defend. And it's 9 minutes already. He doesn't have a 6 hatchery either. So macro-wise, yeah, macro-wise, Soulkey is not doing too hot.
Yeah, down 25 supply. Not looking great. There's no Spire either, so if the Corsair count ramps up to ridiculous numbers, they could just run rampant on isolated Overlords. The SimCity, like I said, it's good. The Sunken and the Hydras are in great position. Zealots are just going to be forced to back off, but a single Corsair may get a second Overlord kill. No, he's going to have to back off.
Robotic, yeah, thinking about it, maybe like a lurker drop could be an option here for Soulkey, like a mechanic to come back.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you think he needs to do to come back? I think you have to go Lurkers here, but if you go Lurkers and the Sarah spots that there's no Spire, you know, Bisu just knows that his Templars are going to be pretty safe for the majority of the game. I actually think Bisu's going to go for it.
But he needs to go before the lurkers are ready.
Yeah, the Templars in the DT, like they misclicked back to the natural or something. Why are they so far behind?
Well, this two lurker are so close, he can kill it with 2 storms.
Yeah, he could definitely storm both of them to death. He decides that he's in a good position, no need to risk overextending. Soulkey is caught up in supply. All of a sudden, it's 85 to 98. Like, that's definitely manageable for Soulkey. We've got a big counterattack, and this could be a misstep, because if this attack doesn't work and Soulkey counters, that could have been game-changing, but he ends up not counterattacking. Great lurker position on the ramp.
Yeah. that was a nice trick.
I actually thought Soulkey was just going to counter and try and end the game, but look at that lurker. Is he setting up for a drop? I don't see any overlords over there, though.
Yeah, but why are you sending a lurker then?
Yeah.
To that corner?
Yeah, like, there's nothing to kill there, right?
Oh, maybe it's because... Is that the base Bisu is going to take?
I guess it could be. It's high ground. Oh, it is. It is going to be the base. And he spots even a shuttle moving across. Top left is going to get shut down by that single DT. And it didn't... Okay, I was wondering if Hiro saw the shuttle. And he has.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to back off. Oh my gosh. It's a hold position lurker. It is going to rack up so many probe kills.
Yeah, but Bisu, like, he did a good job, like, denying that Zerg base from Soulkey. I feel like Soulkey is feeling so much pressure right now. Like, if actually he let Bisu to just, like, build a big army, I'm not really sure how he's going to take a 4 base anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm glad to see that the lurker has +1 weapon done. So once these probes get transferred over here, they're going to get 2-shotted. They are just going to get absolutely massacred.
Is he actually planning to attack, like, the main? Because that is very, very well defended. I saw,
Oh my
like,
gosh.
oh no, goodbye, Shaun.
Look at that reaction time, though. He still was able to unload something.
I mean, can this attack work?
There's
It's
no
only one
way.
sunken.
There's no way this can work. I actually think that Bisu is going to be in trouble once these probes get transferred and he loses a lot of his probes. I'm assuming he loses a chunk of probes. And I think that top left is going to get completed. I actually really like Soulkey's position right now, assuming that the probe transfer does deal a lot of or the probe transfer and the lurker deals a lot of damage to it.
But he needs to defend so many places right now that he's missing a lot of army in this main Nyoken.
Yeah, that is true, but there's still so many lurkers, and there's a sunken.
Oh, he's like the server.
Yeah, and look at the. Oh my gosh, he's gonna kill all of the probes. Oh my gosh, he's gonna kill all of the probes. Bisu had no idea that that was there, so he loses 10 probes. That's a lot of damage. He's actually gonna get through here. I can't believe that these goons kept going, but now it is gonna be denied with the observer going down. Well, maybe
There's
not.
no
That's all I
server.
saw.
Why he's still attacking?
Yeah, I don't know. There's no observer, like you said. There's no storm either. Okay, there is storm available, but he's not using them. We can supply Eonzerg. We've got an even game, but Preuss is on 2 base, whereas Zerg is on 4 base. And look at top left. Like, that's a completely saturated base now.
He's not even dealing with the lurker in his third expansion. And he loses so much
I think
eco
he's all
to that
in.
lurker Nyoken. He's going for it.
Yeah, he seems very all in. He gets the observer again. And Bisu, who was at a massive lead, is just throwing unit after unit into this mass sunken lurker Hydra field. Into it, and you're choked up. That lurker is still alive.
He's not going to kill it. I feel like he's just using everything to finish the set, and he's not going to do it.
These what is it? 3 to 5 lurkers have just held strong this entire push. That's it. Bisu's he's dead. He just doesn't have an army anymore. Oh my gosh, this was perfect defense from Soulkey, abusing the range of his lurkers, knowing that the goons can't really get into a great position in an arc at that specific spot. And the Zealots were never really able to combo with the goons at any point and trade well.
He's coming to defend that next now, man. That is crazy. Like, I don't know why he commit to do that big attack. Like, now he has no options.
Yeah, he has completely no option. The only option he has is to all in here or run a DT and then try and wipe out this drone line. But there's already Hydra set up. There's a Nidus. That means Soulkey has Hive.
Well, some kills here, but it's not enough.
If Bisu had attacked top left, there were really, well, I realized Soulkey moved his units down the bottom left, so maybe not.
You know what? This base is a bit exposed, but there is not even like enough army.
Yeah, that's the thing, is there's just no army. I mean, there's like 10 zealots, but now there's all of a sudden 3 zealots, you know? Like, they just got massacred by these lurkers.
It's funny, like, just more units, and it was like probably like a really good move. But now this move is just like losing the units, and GG, man. What a comeback from Soulkey, and wow, we are going to have a CVC Nyoken.
Yep, ZVZ in our winners match. I think Bisu must have thought that he was in a better position than he actually was, because I don't think he would have ever made that attack unless he was thinking along those lines. Of course, he did lose 11 probes at his third base, and maybe he was thinking, oh no, I lost all my econ, maybe I've got to go for it. But despite losing the probes, I still think he was in an okay spot because he had triple nexus. He could have easily rebuilt those probes, and his army was really strong. Like, he could have just gone for a split map, but in the end, he decided that was a better move.
He actually wastes all the units to lurkers without having another server.
Yeah, like that was the confusing part. It's like, it wasn't like he had 5 observers where even if he loses 2 or 3 of them, he could continue to push. He just only had 1 or 2, and they just got picked off, and then he backs off for like a second, then oh, 1 more observer comes in, and then he goes in again. But one Scourge just kept saving the day for Soulkey.
It has to be what you say, like losing that many workers to that lurker. It just triggered him to go for it.
Yeah, I think if it was a different map where you don't get choked up like that, like, what was it, 4 goons just sitting in the choke constantly, like no other units could funnel through, then I think it was an okay decision. But the fact that nothing could get through except for the 4 goons, it was just a meat grinder. Like, it was the perfect defense from Soulkey right there.
Oh man, it's a bit sad he lost that game because he was doing so well, like multitasking wise early on in the early game with the Zealots. He forced so many Zerglings. Soulkey was forced to make so many units and make almost no progress in that nature of the Protoss. I mean, he actually held that perfectly. Like, he didn't make any mistake, to be fair. And just like that big attack didn't make any sense to me. Like you just like losing that, just lose the game.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate decision because before that he had great decision making. Like, he didn't overbuild cannons. He actually had the perfect amount of cannons. He got good intel with the Corsairs to know that Soulkey was transitioning out of the all-in. Like, everything before that was fantastic. It really looked like Bisu's game to take, especially when he expands towards Zerg, got it basically for free, right? The Nexus. But that one lurker just killed so many workers, and just all fell apart from there. But we've got a ZVZ, like you said. It's going to be Hiro versus Soulkey. Any thoughts on this?
Last thought on the last game is that he even canceled the 4th expansion from Soulkey at some point.
Yeah, that is true. That single DT like denied it for quite a long time.
Yeah, I feel like he played like almost perfect until the big attack with only 1 on server. I feel like even with like just thinking about it, like with 3 on servers, he probably he break that.
Yeah, because there were so many goons there that I don't think enough Scourge would have connected to deny Bisu from, getting in. But every time there was only 1, and then it allows, additional lurkers to morph or Sunken to complete, and it just makes it harder and harder to keep getting in.
Looking at the caster, he's really enjoying his drink today.
Yeah. They're always big on the hot 6, man. The king, they got the new flavor, the pink one on the right, I see that. The black one on the left. Somebody asked in the chat, has anybody tasted it? I would say that it tastes similar to Red Bull. Got a raspberry taste, in my opinion. And we're going into a break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. And we're back with our winners match coming up. It's going to be that man right there facing off versus Soulkey. So we've got a Zerg versus Zerg. I want to know what the maps are, man. I want to know if we're going to have La Campanella with a weird build again like Calm showed. I want to know if we're going to have a crazy invader game.
Yeah, it would be fun to see like Campanella and like these guys like doing. I mean, a similar build like Khan did in his game against Soma. Um, and did you say Tempest also?
I said invader, but Tempest would be fine with me. That's a big map with unusual natural.
Yeah, I feel like on Tempest, like scouting is going to be like the most important factor. Like Invader is just like more straightforward, and there are only two places to scout. So yeah, it could be really fun. Like we actually the Hive game happened on Apocalypse,
Yep.
so like that's a good map with good memories to us.
Yeah, definitely good memories there. It's a little bit surprising that of all the maps, that's the one that got to Hive, but here we go. Look at that, double ban of Apocalypse, and we've got Invader, which is what I wanted. We've also got another two-player map in Dark Origin, but to start us off, we've got Polyploid.
Yeah, starting very classic. Polyboy is making a comeback recently, right? Like last week, I feel like we saw many games on Polyboy as well.
Yeah, which was weird because in the weeks before that, there were often a lot of Polyploid bans, but clearly these players like it, at least for ZVZ. So we're going to be going into our first game of our winners match, Hiro versus Soulkey. And in the bottom right position, our purple Zerg, it is Soulkey. And then in the top right, our red Zerg, it is Hiro.
Yeah, no one's getting, scouted first. That is a good thing, I guess, for both of them. That there is not this disadvantage of getting scouted first.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious because Soulkey, like not Soulkey, yeah, Soulkey actually is scouting a main instead of scouting a natural. So is maybe him thinking about doing a 12 hash here?
Yeah, I always am curious about the scout patterns in ZVZ. And now that you're saying that you think that this could be a hatch first because he wants to intercept. Or, well, I guess they're not going to intercept. Yeah, they would have intercepted. If you intercept the Overlord, you would be able to make a decision on whether you want to go hatch first or not, right?
Yeah, going spawn pool or hatchery first.
Well, he is going to see that Hiro is obviously not bottom left, so it could be hatch first like you're talking about. We have both players actually going for an Overlord, and it is going to be hatch first for Soulkey, and it is going to be 12 pool for Hiro, and this is just the dream opener for Soulkey, isn't it?
It is. Remember it's 11 hatchery, so it's not the same. It's not the same amount of drones than a 12 hash, but it is. And these players are respecting each other because they are both like very popular in doing 9 pools.
Well, there's the pool, and that means that Soulkey's build order is pretty damn great in response to Hiro's. Hiro's going to put down his hatch.
Oh, no.
Do it. Okay, well, I was talking about this earlier, where we could have the hatch at the natural and he goes for long distance mining, but this is not the game to pull it out.
It is definitely not the game, Nyoken. He's so behind right now by doing that. Like, even before that he was behind, but now it's like, okay, well, what do you do here? Like, you need a crazy muta micro pool or something. Like, I honestly don't know how do you actually, like, how do you come back from this?
Yeah, this is going to be really rough. Like, I'm actually thinking Hiro kind of just needs to ling all in this, because I just don't see how you win a mid-game from this state. We do see Soulkey actually ended up going for speed first, if I'm reading this correctly, so at least the lair is going to be heavily in favor of Hiro.
I don't think you can even go Ling or Lin. Like Soulkey Overlord is going to see that second hatchery. So
Yeah.
I don't I don't know what do you do. I mean, you go straight to lair and Mutas, and like you say, Soulkey may Ling speed first. Um, Actually, if Hiro is greedy here with his Zerglings, he can even die to mass Zerglings.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just don't know what you're supposed to do in this point. I actually am just looking at Hiro's camera because I want to see his reaction to
Wait a
seeing the
minute.
natural.
That Overlord didn't see. That Overlord didn't see the natural Nyoken. The Overlord from
He
Soulkey
moved
didn't
it off
see
to
the
the left
natural.
side. Yeah, he. Oh, that's true. He's just going to top left. Okay, now he knows that he's top right. Okay.
There is one Zergling counter-attacking now. He's going to scout the Zergling speed.
Yep, he's gonna see speed, and he's just gonna try and hold his ramp now. There is about even ling count, I would say, pretty close right there. Okay, that's a lot of lings. That is not an even ling count anymore.
But he has a Spire coming, and look at Soulkey Spire, it's just starting out. So it's actually like Hiro hold this. There is a chance for him.
Yeah, there is going to be a window of opportunity for Hiro to go for a sizable Muta counterattack. I actually think Soulkey's going to have to get some spores or something to hold this because of how far along Hiro's Spire is.
Yeah, I think he's going to need the spores. He's not going to have Mutas on time. There is no way.
Yeah, look at this. Hiro's even banking up larva and money to build 5 mutas all at once.
By the way, there is another issue here. Like, Hiro's going to be able to make many mutas. If Soulkey actually doesn't make like 2 spores and he's only making 1, Hiro can snipe many drones from one shot.
Yep, he definitely can. And here comes the Ling engagement right before the mutas pop out. But the arc is just so strong. This is such a favorable engagement for Hiro right there. That spore, I think, is slightly out of position on the top side of the mineral patches, so he's going to have to be careful. Here come the first 3 Mutalisk. There's no
He's the main spore in the natural.
Yeah, there's no spore at the natural. This is completely open.
And there is an Overlord, so he knows.
Yeah, like, the Spire's done, but there's Scourge, and if Mutas pop out at the natural right now, the Scourge can easily pop 1 or 2 of them. Oh no, not like this.
There's only 3 Mutas, by the way.
Okay, those are all Scourge, luckily. Oh, he got one. That's a big pickoff.
Link counterattack.
Yeah.
He's going to lose this hatchery.
Yeah, he's going to lose this hatch. There's way too many lings. There's not enough anti... Wait. What's Hiro doing? He's going back to his main with his Mutas.
Oh, he thought Soulkey was counterattacking with Mutas, I guess.
He's got Scourge going all the way back to his main base. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter in the end because it's still, what, 5 versus 3 Mutas, so this hatchery is dead. And what was an amazing opener from Soulkey all of a sudden is not a great opener because he's on the brink of losing everything.
Well, he got some gas from that expansion. In theory,
Yeah.
it's 1 base against 1 base. But yeah, like, there are too many Zerglings, like...
Yeah, and Hiro didn't really lose many mutas, so he can just transition out of this. I don't think Soulkey mined nearly enough to make up the muta difference right now. Yeah, there's no way. All these mutas are dead.
That's gonna be it.
Oh my gosh. Soulkey's gonna be kicking himself after this game. What do you think went wrong for him? Was it literally just no spore at the natural?
It was a speed first, Nyoken.
It was the speed first?
Yeah, like, the Spire timing was just like so bad. I mean, why that is true. Why he didn't make the spore in the national?
Yeah, like I kept looking there and I'm just thinking to myself, I don't see any purple block going down, man. Like maybe I'm missing it.
That Hiro has like the hatchery in the main. Like making a spore make total sense. He didn't make a spore. Why? I don't really know what was that decision making, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And also building so many lings. Are you in agreement with that? Do you think building that many lings? Well, I mean, we obviously know the result, but in retrospect, should he have built less Lings there? Like, if he had built a couple of more drones, he would have had better econ. Maybe he could have afforded that Spore.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I feel like he had like hopes to finish the game with Serlings because that's why you do like Serling speed.
Okay, so I guess it really was that speed just coming back to bite him, and unfortunately for him, I guess Hiro had a good counter to that particular move, and now he's one game away from making it out in first place. But we've got another interesting map coming up. It's going to be Invader, a 2-player map, and we've seen an epic game already on here that was ZVZ, Queen versus Jaedong. If you guys have not checked that one out, definitely highly suggest that one. It was pretty damn close. And in the top left, our red Zerg gets Soulkey. And then in the bottom right, one game away from making it into the round of 8, it is Hiro.
And Hiro can be such an amazing player sometimes. Like, I remember like there was a game of him against Jaedong that was similar, like Jaedong with a below their advantage and everything. And Hiro actually like come back from that. And he's doing it now again, like in CBC when you are like using build orders that are not that good, it's so hard to come back.
What's this?
Because like everyone has like perfect micro, perfect. What is this, man? Like hatchery?
You know, I saw this drone move out, and I'm like, oh, he's proxying a barracks, man. But then I'm like, wait a minute. This is CBZ. This isn't an SCB. This isn't a probe. What the hell is this? Is he gonna proxy a hatch at top middle? Is he trying to see?
Inside the main.
Oh my gosh. Inside the main? Does the Overlord see it? He saw it. The Overlord saw
You
it.
think?
Yeah.
You think? You sure?
The Overlord saw it.
Are you sure 100%?
Yeah. Look at the Overlord. It's even going bottom direction now. Look, he knows. Well, okay. Eonzerg, this is going to be 1-1. Look at Soulkey. Look at Soulkey's camera. He already knows. He just let out a sigh of relief because he knows this game's already over.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Wow. Hiro was literally like 2 seconds too fast with his hatch, and now the game's just blown completely open. Or two seconds too fast with his drone move out, and now this game's done.
What a fail, man. What a fail. All he needed was like to put the drone just a little bit more on to the top, man.
What? Okay, I don't know if this ever happened to you before, but let's say that it goes unscouted and you go pool first. The guy with the pool first, is he even in a bad position? Because in the end, it's still one hatch versus one hatch in your main, and you're going to have Lings across the map, most likely.
Yeah, but if I'm actually like doing a build order like this, and I go to your base and I think that you are just like playing like hatchery, like lair first, you know, super fast lair, and then you are building certainly in my base, that can be dangerous if I'm actually out in the map.
Yeah, that is true, and Hiro's reaction was pretty much the reaction that I was expecting. He is going to somehow or try to transition out of this, but he is just so far behind. I guess the one thing that could happen is there were 2 larvae left right there, and he could try and make something happen with that, but only able to use one of them.
I hope Soulkey don't forget these 2 larvas. Well,
Yeah.
1 larva. Soulkey?
Okay, amazing control. Loses nothing.
Yeah. Soulkey now has to be like super happy. Like, I mean, if Nyoken, if Hiro come back from this, I'm done with Zerg.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. If Hiro wins this game, he's he's just a madman in ASL. He's really just the guy to beat in ASL. Like, this is just such an unwinnable position. But if you look at supplies, it's 17 to 16.
Yeah, but the Spire, the advantage and all of that, it's like, it's similar to the last game situation with the Spire timing. Like, Hiro, I feel like he even needs the spores to survive here.
Yeah, and if we look at the gas difference also, Soulkey's up 150 gas. That's a huge amount in ZVZ. That's 2 Scourge. 2 rounds.
Not only that, he's going to need more Cernis than Nyoken. Like, these Cernis are probably not enough.
Yeah, and if you look at the money of Soulkey, he's got enough money where he could put down a hatchery if he wants.
Yeah. Hiro is so good that I can actually believe he can come back from this. I don't know why, I have the feeling.
Well, if he came back from this would be nuts. Soulkey's mutas are about to pop in just a second. Those eggs are about to fall. And that means that these lings better get into position real soon. There's a gap on the left, I think. Oh, there's a gap on the right, and we're in the main. Oh my gosh. And I didn't think it could have gone worse for Hiro in terms of openers compared to last game, but this went even worse. And now mutas are here. There's no spores. Lings are going to wreak havoc in the main. The Spire's not done just yet.
Yeah, he loses all the Cernis Nyoken. And that's probably game. Oh!
It's gotta be game. There's no way. How do you kill the Lings? Oh my gosh, just goodbye muta.
Yeah, good micro by Soulkey. GG.
Well, a bit of an unlucky way to win. I guess when you lose like that, at least you're not really tilted, right? Like, your hatch got scouted, and that was the entire strategy. Like, you can't really recover. So, I don't think it's going to affect his mindset going into Game 3, but Soulkey now evening up the score. I'm sure he's feeling pretty good about that win.
Yeah, but it's such a... Remember, this is like deciding who advanced first in this group. So that was such a silly way to lose the game.
Yeah.
Like, he can be happy about the game, even if it was a funny one.
Well, I think he's going to look at the replay and just see that the Overlord literally had vision for like 1 second. And if he had sent the drone even 1 or 2 seconds later, it wouldn't have gotten scouted. So that's just, how it goes sometimes. A little bit too quick on the gun with the drone. Backfires. And now he's going into another 2-player map. I wonder if he's got anything crazy planned for this one also.
I don't know, Nyoken. Near that region is possible. There is so much space to put like hidden. Didn't we see Hiro doing like a proxy hatchery like this against Jadon?
Can't remember. Was it on Dark Origin? Not on Dark Origin, right?
Yeah. He built it like close to the. It was like in the last ASL. It was like close to the to the back of the expansion. He took out the mirrors and like made an attack, and he actually like Jadon actually hold that.
I don't remember. I'd have to go rewatch that game, but nothing's coming to mind. But we do have Soulkey top left, Hiro bottom right. You were talking about how a lot of these 2 players do play 9-pool quite a bit. So far we haven't seen 9-pool. Oh, well, I guess we did see 9-pool from Soulkey last game, but so far we've seen Hiro, play more macro-oriented build, whether it's 12 hatch or 12 pool. Or I guess it was a 9 hatch last game, technically.
Yeah. Well, there is a big chance this time we're going to see a classic 12 pool from Hiro.
Okay. We got both players with Overlords being built, so definitely likely.
And Soulkey, man, Soulkey is a tricky player. He can either like go hatchery first or spawning pool as well. In this case, Nyoken is spawning pool.
Yep, pool and pool. I guess
Oh,
Heroes.
wait a minute. Soulkey made 11 pull, and Hiro made 12 pull. So Soulkey was like trying to do a hard counter to the 9 pull.
Alright. Guess a subtle difference there. I'm looking at the minerals and everything just looks identical to me, but... I want to know where the second hatch gets placed. You think Hiro will put it in the main again? Alright, here we go. We're going to find out. Well, there's Soulkey at the natural.
Maybe
Hiro
I
on the high
bug it
ground.
with my below. Oh my god, again hatchery in the main?
Common Queen. They have innovated the Zerg versus Zerg meta. We're just consistently seeing the end base second hatchery.
Look at the drone Nyoken. Oh my god. The innovation of 2023 in CBC. Hatchery in the main.
Yeah.
I mean, and close to the ramp so you can get gas.
Yep. Well, we got the first few lings popping out. We do have lair from both sides. And Hiro's going to see the bad news that this guy has a low ground hatch.
Yeah, if you ask me, I prefer Soulkey position here. But, I mean, he actually come back from a very strong build in the first game, 11 hatchery. So, yeah, you know, it's not so bad. The thing is, yeah, as the time progresses, Soulkey is going to have like more advantage.
Yep, we have 6 lings for Hiro. I think we've got at least 8 for Soulkey right now. Well, maybe Hiro mixed in an additional drone. Overlord sees everything though. Lair should be finishing for both sides in just a moment.
Yeah, you know what, the timings are going to be really similar, Nyoken. So, like the important part is like, honestly, it's like the micro part of the game. Like, if there is actually like good micro against the Scourge, if there is like good connections with the Scourge, all of that is going to matter the most. And Soulkey, look at this, Soulkey even made a Soulkey. I don't think Hiro is going to attack.
I don't think so either, especially since the Overlord saw it. You know, originally I did think Hiro was going to attack, but with the Overlord being there and spotting the colony, if I was Hiro, I would just drone. But instead, we do have lings moving out, but it's not that many.
Oh, but Soulkey actually only made 8 Zerglings.
Okay, that is true, and Sunken is really not great versus lings.
That's a lot of Zerglings, Nyoken.
Yeah, that's a ton of lings, actually. Soulkey could be in trouble here.
I think he made Zerglings, I mean Soulkey. I think he made Zerglings. He's using Larva.
Well, he better have made lings, because if he didn't, this game might be over. But
yeah, and
he is gonna back off actually. So he did just force a lot of lings out. But I like.
He's still making Zerglings.
Yeah, I don't know about this. Like, okay, maybe he faked him out. Oh, drone in the front. Sunken is in a really good position. Oh my gosh, this was a disaster. This was an absolute disaster. And look at Soulkey, he doesn't even have speed on his lings, so that's 100 additional gas in his favor too.
Looks like Hiro didn't make more Zerglings, he's now making mutas. So I ask myself how much larva Soulkey actually has to spend.
Look at supply, it's already a 4 supply lead for Soulkey. He's got his extractor going up. Even if he just mines with 1 on gas, that's just going to turn in such a massive lead for him. We've got 3 mutas out, 2 or 4 Scourge out already.
Maybe he can kill this Overlord. Oh no, he's not even attacking.
Well, when you're on 1 gas, is it worth to kill 1 Overlord?
No, I mean with the mutas. I thought he was like sending mutas as well.
Yeah. Well, it's 4 mutas. Okay, that was great. Takes off 1 of them. That was good splash damage. I like that.
But yeah, as the time progresses, the worst is for Hiro. If he's actually like waiting to build more mutas like this, Soulkey is going to have an insane amount of gas just to use, you know, like mass Scourge, mass muta. don't know, man. I don't know what Hiro is going to do here.
I think this is going to be his only attempt right here, because as the game progresses, Soulkey's just going to run away with it in the air count, in the meta count, I mean. So it's right now 7 versus 6. This is going to be the best fight that he can possibly ever get. Good control from both sides. Knocks down a Scourge. None of them are connecting.
Oh.
Well, there was the first shot in Soulkey's favor, and now it's just lights out. This is going to be a
That's it,
massacre.
Nyoken, too many mutas.
Too many mutas, too many Scourge, and that means that Soulkey, he is going to make it out in first place. Well done to him. And we've got another Zerg into the round of 8.
It all started to go downhill with that proxy hatchery.
Yeah. It was a cute play, though. I liked it. I like when people are willing to risk it all with a Hail Mary like that. But, you know, this easily could have been a 2-0 for Soulkey. Like, the first game looked like it was in the bag for him. So I am happy that he ends up sealing the deal here.
I'm pretty sure I saw Yellow doing this build on Polaris Rhapsody, but I don't remember the opponent.
The in-base hatch? Or the proxy hatch?
The proxy hatchery, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that. So I would also have to Google that to see if I remember the game you're talking about. But we do have this mass laying attack, and the SimCity was just amazing here. Look at this evolution chamber. Look how little surface area the Lings can get. This was actually perfect. And as soon as this happened, there's just no way to recover. Like, you're just down so much, you committed so hard.
I'm glad Soulkey actually made more Zerglings. He predicted well this move. Honestly, it was a really nice prediction. If he actually was greedy and just making drones and no more Zerglings, Hiro could actually do some good damage.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking was maybe if Hiro went to the back and knocked down that building where he could come in through the backside, then maybe Soulkey would have had to been nervous about, potentially getting hit from the backside. What do you think about that?
But there was an overlord. There was an overlord already.
Oh, okay.
In the base. So, in what moment actually do you bring out drone to do that kind of move? It has to be very early in the game,
Yeah,
and then you can do take mineral, build extractor, then bring back the mineral. Because you don't want to take 4 drones to get the minerals, right?
Yeah, that is true. Well, this does set us up for a Terran versus Protoss. In the losers match, we've got Ample facing off versus Bisu. And I remember seeing Ample's stats versus Protoss. Not the greatest, whereas Bisu's stats were actually surprisingly high versus Terran. It was like a 60% win rate, almost as high as his Zerg. So, or his versus Zerg, I mean. So it looks like this could be a good matchup for Bisu.
Yeah, Nyoken, if you actually remove the losers from Flash, the losers in the PvT from Flash, it's actually a pretty good PvP score.
Yeah, it's really, really freaking high. And I remember from one of the graphics, Ample definitely wants to avoid Protoss players. So it's going to be tough for him to make it out. I think his best shot was playing versus Zergs, but maybe he's got special build orders planned specifically for Bisu, like what we saw Hiro try and pull out versus Soulkey. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Ample, he doesn't seem to me like the Terran guy that can be that good in TvP. He's good in Terran versus Terran versus Terran, but in TvP, I feel like he bleeds way too much.
Well, also a thing about Ample is he doesn't seem like somebody that pulls out crazy strategies. So if I was Bisu here, I would expect to see just normal builds. The craziest strategy I guess I would expect from Ample is something like a 4-fact timing, where it would hit really fast, but not be necessarily all in. Other than that, I don't expect to see BBS. The only time I expect to see BBS is if Tempest gets through. Then I could see it.
Really?
Yeah, because Protoss players, they really do like to 12 Nexus on maps with high ground because, Marines are attacking from low ground. BBS is, or I mean, 12 Nexus is really common there, and it's really hard to punish with anything other than BBS. So unless that map gets through, I don't think we're going to see BBS at all. So, yeah, I just feel like Ample's probably going to play standard.
I don't know. I feel like Bisu's probably going to play also very standard because he's like the best player. Why going to risk it all with a 12 Nexus?
Yeah,
Why put yourself in that situation?
yeah, if I was Bisu and we were playing Tempest, I would go for not a proxy gate, but one of those forward gates where you can pressure with zealots. And if Terran goes for BBS, well, you just win. And if Terran gets greedy and goes for 14cc, you also just win. So if that map is actually selected, I hope we see that.
Man, congratulations to Soulkey. Good display in this group. By the way, I honestly didn't see him coming first, so I'm gladly I'm very surprised here.
Yeah, especially versus someone like Hiro, who's really dangerous in Zerg versus Zerg, dangerous in Zerg versus Protoss, and he makes it deep every single time. So this was definitely a tough group, and he should feel proud about his result. We're going to be going into a break in just a moment, and then we'll be back with our losers match, which is going to be Ample versus Bisu. Oh, ask ASL first.
What they are gifted, Nyoken?
It's the tumbler, and it seems like it's just the tumbler. So a tumbler is what we would call a thermos in the US. I'd never heard that word before until going to Korea, but that's what it is. And people on the StarCast channel were asking about the mouse pad, and I looked it up on their shop page. Not able to find it, so it looks like it's probably sold out if you're looking for it, which is unfortunate. But we're going into a break, and then we'll be back in just a moment. It's time to get into our losers match. We've got Bisu facing off versus Ample, so it's going to be a PvT. And there is the man right there, Mr. Ample, getting taken down from Hiro earlier. Meanwhile,
Man, I kind of miss Barracks from last seasons. Barracks the play style was so fun to watch, so aggressive. Like compared to the Terran plays we have seen this season.
yeah, Barracks is a quite aggressive player. For some reason, his skill or his play online doesn't translate into victories into ASL, but he's definitely one of those players you got to be on the lookout for in future ASLs. I think once he gets over whatever hurdle he has in ASL, he is definitely somebody that can go pretty far, especially when he's getting coached by Light almost every time I see some Light tutorial videos. And there we go, Eonzerg. There's Tempest, man.
Tempest, Polypoid, and Invader. Tempest, first set. This is so interesting. Are we going to see 11 Nexus?
We could. Wonder if Ample's got anything planned to try and counter that.
How good is like 2 factories like on this map?
Eonzerg, 2 factory, it might be the worst build that Terran has. It sounds like it could be good, but it's
Nah, you're trolling.
It's just not good, man. It just isn't. So in the top right, we have Ample. And in the bottom left, we have Bisu. It's just... You should play Terran for a week. Just have... Not even a week. Just play for a day. Get somebody to just 12 Nexus you every game. And you 2-fact. And you tell me how that goes for you.
Nyoken, I have seen 2 factories being incredibly strong.
Okay.
Against Protoss like forever, Nyoken. Like it's like you telling me that 9 pool is bad against Protoss. I don't know. It's so weird.
I don't know what VODs you're watching. You must be watching games from 2000 where V Gundam and Joyo were pulling out the 2-fact builds, and we do have Bisu going for what I'm hoping is going to be the forward gate that I was talking about, because this shuts down proxy racks. This shut down 14cc. We've actually got a lot of Ample fans. That one right there is a Bisu fan.
Very fast scout, Nyoken. That proxy is like the proxy. No, the Python is so far from the expansion. I don't know. Like it was probably a good idea to steal gas, but this is not really going that way.
Okay, so we do have racks in the main for Ample. Everything normal. Not going to have a greedy 14cc opener. Bisu, despite going for the fast scout, not going to find Ample first, so not going to be able to get off the gas steal that he was looking for.
You know what? Bisu actually is making extra workers. Do you think he's going to do like Gateway Nexus?
Nah, he's probably going to pressure with the Zealot, then maybe take a Nexus, and he may end up going Cybernetics, but he could go Nexus. He does have high ground, which will buy him time if a Vulture does come across the map. And Cybernetics does build decently quick. He could get away with something like that.
Oh, do you see that HP, Nyoken? It's going down.
Oh, probe harassment is crazy at this level. He may kill that SCV if he's not careful.
I have seen Bisu like sending, I mean not only Bisu, but I have seen like Protoss players like sending 2 or 3 workers and do harassing like this and being like super annoying.
Yeah, you can do that. Like, it racks up a lot of damage really quickly. And there is the Nexus. I think if this was a different map where you don't have high ground, this most likely would have just been a Cybernetics follow-up. But the high ground really does buy you a decent amount of time, and of course he had Zealot Pressure coming, which will buy him time.
Why he didn't make the gas? What is going on?
Bisu?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he misclicked? Yeah, he's got a Cybernetics going. It's by his mineral line, actually. Now he builds.
Like he's not looking at the main?
Well, he lost the probe, so that was a good pickoff from Ampel right there. Marine control is really good, getting into the sweet spot. I don't think Bisu's going to kill any Marines here. Wow, this control is really good. Oh my gosh, that Zealot doesn't get off the last shot. And there's a Vulture follow-up, and because oh, it's a Forge. Okay, well that's the reason why he didn't mind gas. He just didn't go Forge follow-up.
Interesting. Why Forge?
I actually don't know. Maybe he just really wants to prioritize mineral income instead of going into gas. Maybe he'll catch up in that way where he'll double gas.
But he can poke pressure to the gateway with the range of the Vulture.
Yeah, but well, I'm
no,
not
maybe
sure
no. He doesn't have the vision.
Yeah, the cannon's pretty close. Okay, well doesn't seem like a big pickoff, but it actually is, because that Vulture could have laid 3 mines, and even if the mines don't kill anything, they at least give you vision. So nice catch from Bisu right there. We do have a starport follow-up. I think this is a fine decision. He knows that the Robo is going to be a little bit late since he saw Forge.
Yeah, but it's going crazy here with that starport. Like, I honestly didn't expect that kind of play. And I have to be honest with you, with that Forge already made, there is a big chance like Bisu just made a cannon in the main as well. I'm not really sure like how effective this is going to be. But it's true that you can put tanks in the high ground of the Natural. But you know what, like Bisu already making robotic.
Yeah, and I don't... High ground of the Natural, you mean... Oh yeah, high ground of the Natural, okay. Yeah, I already forgot about that high ground there, where you can just overlook the mineral line in the probe, so yeah. Good thing he is getting that robo up. But I agree, I think that the chances of there being a cannon in the main is quite high. So we'll see if he's able to actually get any damage done with these drops.
What? That the Prime is going to see that SCV. I'm not really sure, like, it has to be one of the most passive games I have seen from Bisu, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think I've really ever seen him go Gate Forge. That's like a type of move that I expect to see from someone like Ruin, who really made it a popular build in the last couple seasons. We do have dropship coming, and because there are no vultures, it must be a tank drop. And actually, if he does get his Marines across the map at the same time, like that could be a really hard drop to contend against.
Yeah, Bisu's making our observatory, so I don't think he's making the shuttle right away. He's not expecting this play.
Yeah, but look at these pylons already set up. Probe in the center of the map, pylon at mid right. It's very likely that this...
shuttle, never mind.
Yeah, luckily there's a shuttle. It's very likely it's going to get intercepted though, but the probe is moving away at the wrong time.
Well, I think if actually... Never mind, man. That worker saw the dropship, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well, if he didn't, he can get some damage here. Never mind. No, he saw it.
Yeah, he saw it. So he's going to get like 1 kill, and now he needs to get out of here. He can't lose this drop, I can tell you that. If he loses this drop, he's in big time trouble.
Oh.
Bisu,
I think it's safe.
Yeah, Bisu taking a 3rd Nexus, this is exactly what you should do versus someone that's going drops and did no damage to you. You gotta think about it. Starport, that's 150 minerals. Tank drop, expensive. Siege mode, expensive. Dropship, very expensive. And there's no way Terran can afford a lot of factories. So I love the fast 3rd Nexus follow-up. And Ampel's gonna transition this into upgrades and 3-fact.
To be honest, I kind of like Ampel build. Because like taking his steal is going to feel so natural for him. So like I think it's fine that he stays longer without taking the CC yet. Because like giving priority to Grace eventually is going to pay off.
Yeah, this is just the meta these days, is Terran sits in their base a lot longer because shuttle play became such the norm. It's so hard to defend all the places at the same time until you really have a really solid army. So in the overall, Terran just sits there, and they can still play out of it fine. Like, they end up getting their 3rd base eventually, they get their 4th base eventually, and then they have the upgrades like you're talking about. So it's all right. This is still a fine position for Ample, and he did get a quite quick armory for going for Starport, so his 2-1 timing is still going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah, man. Bisu, I feel like he can even like take a for expansion if he wants.
He could. I think the only reason you don't see him going for that yet is because we're still at the point in the game where Terran, if they scan and see that, hey, you're getting a little bit too crazy here, Terran could just put down 7 factories and do a timing.
Yeah, that is true. I'm for making a 2nd armory. I'm honestly surprised. Like, I thought he would like be upgrading only on 1 and like eventually expand. But if he's actually like doing two armories here, do you think that there is like a timing attempt?
Well, the fact that he hasn't put down more factories or command center makes me... Okay, there he goes. He just put down 2 more factories. So he scanned something and he decided that a timing is the move to go for, because this is 5 facts, at least. Maybe even 6 or 7 facts. I don't think he needs 5 fact to take a 3rd base. But Bisu is going for that fast 4th base, like you were saying. And, maybe Ample can hit.
Ooh. But there is a speed chat already. Many gateways. And Bisu, let's not forget, has vision of that. So Bisu knows everything that Ample is doing right now.
Yeah, he does. But Speed Shuttle and Reaver is a pretty expensive commitment. Plus, he also has like 10 gates, and also saw he had Temple Archive and Citadel already done. Plus 4 Nexuses. That's a lot of resources into heavy tech and additional bases. Good mine setup right here, and good tank drop. Gets a lot of damage done. Actually snipes a few probes, even sniped the cannon.
Indeed.
He might be able to just run away.
He's going to get clean.
And he gets out. So this is great play from Ample. I don't see 7 facts from him. That means that it's not going to be an all-in push. But I don't remember seeing a command center anywhere. Vultures get into the 3rd base, get a few more probes, but not nearly as much damage as he did in the main.
It's good damage, to be honest. Like, it's actually good damage. Nyoken, I'm not sure he killed that many workers with that dropship. Like, Bisu actually transferred the workers to the National.
Yeah, he did. I'm kind of confused at what the actual game plan is from Ample, because I'm still waiting to see more factories. He's got so much gas. Okay, there we go. There's Scamander just outside of the natural. That's a weird placement, but he's going to take the high ground here, and that's where his 3rd base is going to be.
Yeah. Now that he actually securing that base, I feel like the 4th expansion is very natural here for the Terran player. There's no way Bisu is thinking to attack into this, right?
Well, he sees that there's no Goliaths, and if there's no Goliaths, that means that all these shuttles should be able to unload easily. Okay, that was a good hit. It's 3 vultures. It's 170 supply versus 137. This is a pretty big supply lead for Bisu right now. He's decided that, hey, I've got triple shuttle, you've got all your units out of position, I can go for a bomb into the main. There's a lot of turrets though, not that many mines set up, and the Reaver gets unloaded in the back. Oh, he only unloaded 1 though. Yeah, but this is where it still gets dangerous, because even though this army's gonna get cleaned up, the entire army of Bisu is right outside the 3rd base. So if Terran sends too much to save like these depots and stuff, he's gonna get busted. And here we go. There's no vulture support, so this may be a bust.
Oh, there are too many times. I don't think.
Yeah, there's a lot of goons though. He's gonna kill all these forward tanks. He's gonna... I thought he might be able to kill the barracks. I don't know about the command center, but regardless, he did a lot of damage there, wiping out a lot of tanks, killed a decent amount of depots in the main. Did he get the armory up there? I'm not sure if he got the armory up there, but overall it's a hold for Ample.
I don't think he didn't get any armory. But so far I feel like Bisu has to be happy with the the progress he
Yeah.
has made. But I mean, Ample actually like still defending his suspension, and Bisu attacking again. I'm not really sure this is working.
The storm, pretty decent, but not going to be enough for Bisu to actually get the killing blow here. Ample holding on. His powerful upgrades really kicking in. 2-1 is now done. Supplies are pretty close, 108 to 123. And I don't think Bisu killed that many SCVs, so the Econ should still be pretty good for Ample right now. Well, maybe he did, because actually the third base SCV count is pretty low.
Yeah, man, but he loses so many units, and I feel like he still want to go for it. Like, he's not really pressing that stop button.
Yeah, for some reason, Bisu's really thinks he can end the game right here. I don't know. He does have 4 bases. Okay, there we go. If he can just keep storming the SCVs, that's a way to victory for him.
In some way, he's like almost doing what he did against Soulkey. Like, for some reason, he just decided needs to attack and attack and attack, and he's not stopping.
Yeah, but this time around, he's at least got an open angle to attack from. The low ground Templar harassment is going to be so annoying to deal with. Bisu's on 5 bases in just a second, and the factory count from Ample is not that great. Just 5 factories. It's going to take him a really long time to max out, and I don't really see him considering to actually make a move towards Bisu, at least for 5 minutes or so.
Ample is already in 1-2 Nyoken. So upgrade wise, he has to be feeling really good. And you know, when actually like the tanks are getting 1-2 or 3-2, like it's so hard to kill that mech army.
Yep. That is true, and we've got to drop into the natural, and this is a lot of SCVs right here.
Oh.
What? They just didn't cast.
Is that a book?
Well, one of the shuttles doesn't have anything in it. That's from early. Okay, that's some juicy storms. It's a lot of SCVs there.
Yeah. I'm almost happy that happened instead of like wasting storms in natural and not killing anything.
Yeah, he definitely got maximum value by going into the main. And we're starting to see a pretty sizable lead now, 180 to 122. And there's a parting gift from that Templar. Some more SCVs going down.
Bisu is taking bottom right.
Oh.
So like eventually when he will get gateways up there, I feel like the game is gonna be like totally under his control. Like I don't really think like Ample will be able to come back from that. But until that point, if Ample actually like put some good pressure into that Bisu 4 expansion, maybe he has a chance, man.
Yeah, the problem is he just has 5 factories, though. Like, it's just going to take him so long to actually get a factory count up that's high enough where he can start attacking. Like, his army is decent right now, but if he loses the army, he just can't rebuild it. And what I like that Bisu's doing is he's getting cybernetics upgrades for air. It's such a cheap upgrade that he'll be able to transition into carriers if he feels like he can't win the game with ground anymore. So I like this play from Bisu. He's going into massive amounts of Stargates.
Okay, carrier transition, Nyoken. This is going to be painful for the Tarolg.
Yeah, and without upgrades, carriers can be a big misstep going into 3-3 Terran. So I do like how he's staying on ground right now, waiting for him to get more air upgrades before he actually tries to transition. Now he does scan and see that there are carriers coming, so at least Ample will know that this is the follow-up.
Yeah, but you know what? Bisu actually, the army was like based in, like most of the supplies in ground army, not carriers.
Yeah, there's a lot on ground. He's just waiting to throw this army, and then he wants to build like 5 or 6 carriers all at once. This is a huge tank count, so I don't know if Bisu can make a misstep here, because if Ample slams one army, then all of a sudden he can counterattack and kill at least 2 or 3 bases.
Oh, that is true. He need to be careful to not lose like his main army. If actually he lose the main army and lose the main, that can like sometimes that costs the game to Protoss players.
Yeah, also these bases, like if we look at how expansions are built, like they're towards the center of the map. So they're pretty close to Ample actually. Like he can easily kill that middle base. Probably easily kill the left side base. And then if he gets on the left side, look at this, he's killing off supply because he wants to go carriers.
Yeah, it's not like he booked it, guys. He actually needs his free supply.
Yeah, as long as Ample doesn't instant counterattack before critical mass comes, Bisu's in a fine position, but those 3-2 weapon upgrades, those are scary. You got shuttles coming in to try and buy some more time. Goodbye shuttle. But this is gonna allow Ample to get his fourth base up and running.
But you know what? Like, he's so passive right now. Like,
yeah.
I think he needs to attack. Like, you can really let the guy to make carriers like that for free.
Yeah, that's the problem, is he's just so passive, and the reason is because he was only on 5 factories. Obviously Protoss has a huge army that he needs to deal with, and Terran can't lose this army because, oh my gosh, there's a mine right there. If he can shuttle bomb that. All right, well here we go. That's a good trade for Ample, but he's got to push, and he's got to push really quickly.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to push in this map with all these high grounds and all these levels that you need to get to.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and what was not even a great trade for Bisu, it still buys him a lot of time. He killed like all the vultures.
Yeah. How many cards he's producing at the time? Like 4?
4 at a time. So he needs really one more round of units, or one more round of carriers to get up to 6 to 8, and that's when it really starts getting scary. But here comes the big push. This base probably going to be wiped off the map, but it doesn't matter because Bisu has 7 other bases. He's got all of bottom right. He's starting to take top left at the same time also.
I don't even see that many Goliaths, to be honest.
Yeah, he doesn't have that many Goliaths right now. Really needs to start building them because the carriers are going to be coming soon. The tank count is huge. The storms are amazing. He does eliminate a decent amount of tanks. Ample is catching up in supply, but once those carriers are out, it's going to be game-changing. I think actually Ample's best move is to go to the left side, kill that base, because at least if he can kill that base, it also overlooks some of the gateways, and he can siege that, and he can also build a lot of turrets there. But if he continues this pathway down to bottom right, the carrier count is just going to get huge. Instead, he's going to go straight to the main. I don't know about this. This is going to be really hard to push into.
You know what, Nyoken? It's only 4 carriers after all. I don't really see that many storms to get damage in the Goliaths. These upgrades from Terran has to be like 2 and 3 already. So like 4 carries is not enough to deal with this amount of Goliaths after all.
Yeah, it's not enough to deal with it right now, but it's still going to take Terran a long time to get into the base.
But he doesn't have high Templars. He can stop him.
Yeah, he actually doesn't. Okay, now that Ample is getting this close, he still needs to have some SCVs here. He needs to start building some turrets. The army is actually really getting melted. Like, surprisingly fast, these goons are just getting blasted. Ample at the same time is taking mid-left. He could start taking mid-right if he wants. But the carrier count now, what is it at? 8? Okay, this is where it starts to get ridiculous. That's a lot of Goliaths, but to me, what you need is 3 to 4 Goliaths per carrier, and that does not look like 32 Goliaths to me.
Yeah, not only that, like going down like this, like walking down that ramp is going to be difficult for Ample. And there are high Templars now to storm as well.
Actually, Ample may have done it, because if we look at how many interceptors there aren't that many interceptors. And there's so many tanks. There are so many tanks.
I think High Templar is holding that ramp now.
It might be. He needs to desperately have some storms. There's one of them, but he needs to hit the Goliaths. He doesn't need to hit the tanks. The choke is really hurting. There's an SCV finally building a turret. The interceptor count is still extremely low. Ample rallying as much as he can to bottom left. We talked about the gateways at bottom right. Remember building mass gateways down there? But if we look at bottom right, there are no gateways. So once this base, if it dies, Like, this is it for Bisu. He doesn't really have any production.
Man, 10 carriers.
Dude, is he doing it? There's 10 carriers, but the interceptors.
It is in the new expansion from Ample, denying that mining. That is a good step to slow down Ample, but there's a lot of units coming, and he's making even turrets now in that main.
Yeah, turrets plus Goliaths. This is gonna, dude. Like every time the interceptors come out, there's only like 15 of them. Bisu actually needs to run. He needs to start rebuilding his bases at bottom right and top left because he's not saving bottom left anymore. The interceptor count is just not high enough. If Ample gets mid right, like top right by his base, I think he can win this game. Like there's DT shutting down the 5th base at mid left and carriers are obviously just going to murder this base. But if he can secure mid right and still be on 4 bases, he's got a chance.
Now there are 10 carriers and 4 bases from Protoss. 2 of them are mains. That's a lot of eco to get.
Yeah, and this is what you should do. When you can't engage the army, just run around the map and kill the command centers. So he's going to lose a carrier right here.
Oh, no!
Yeah, but this is just one carrier, and there's not that many Goliaths. So he can kill...
one carrier, but remember that he lost the Stargates.
Yeah, he did lose the Stargates, but it's fine, because now it's 9 carriers with maximum interceptors. Now, Bisu's supply blocked. Okay, well, I can tell you this. He can't get flanked from both sides. If he goes in too deep here, and Goliath's hit from the backside, well, then he will be in trouble.
Oh.
He needs more turrets. The problem is he just doesn't have that much money. Like, Ample's completely broke, whereas Bisu is still mining on 4 bases.
Yeah, these carriers are doing work, man. Ample is like bleeding these Goliaths here. Actually, maybe he can kill that. If he actually killed that expansion.
Yeah, he definitely needs to kill a base, that's for sure. But the problem is these Goliaths are not critical mass, like I said. He needs like 30 Goliaths here. Now he's just losing Goliath after Goliath after Goliath. And these are Goliaths that Ample really can't rebuild because he's only mining 2 bases right now.
You know what is funny, Nyoken? Like, Ample needs Goliaths to deal with the carriers. But Bisu can actually now switch to Grand Army again.
Yeah, he can go ground, but he doesn't really have that many gates. He just has a couple at top left. Bottom right with the tanks is a great play from Ample here. He may end up actually getting this Nexus. There are so many tanks. The carrier count is just too many. There's not enough Goliaths. We do finally see some ground units coming in. Ample's now at 120 supply. That's just not critical mass anymore. And oh, look at that. He's even starting to rebuild carriers at top left. However, this game did get scrappy.
Yeah, he's making progress in that bottom right expansion. And he's like still like with a healthy eco.
Yeah.
Well, not really. Like if he actually loses this expansion, he's going to be in only 1 base.
Man, this top base is surviving forever. Like, the Goliath count is not that great, but the carriers, they're just not able to kill the base. Maybe finally he can take it down now that he's eliminating these turrets.
He's killing every Goliath, Nyoken, but there are more coming. But you know what? I feel like the base is going down.
Yeah, this is finally going to fall. 8 carriers versus just 7 Goliaths. Tanks are busting through bottom right. But Ample, he's just going to run out of money. He just doesn't have the income. It's 9 carriers
Bisu
now.
actually remake the Stargates.
Yeah, he's got Stargates in top left now.
Because like he's killing this main and that's like really good, but Protoss is still on two healthy bases.
Yeah. You can see observers coming in because I guess Bisu's thinking like the only way the carriers can die is if there's cloaked wraiths. Yeah, it was a valiant effort from Ample. I actually was surprised he even busted the main. I didn't think he would be able to get through that at all. And he actually got through it really quickly. Like, if he had a little bit more econ, I think he could have done it because he eliminated a lot of bases. And Bisu's down to what, 2.5 base mining right now with almost no production?
Yeah, like Bisu has a lot of minerals, and that's all you need to make interceptors. So I feel like Bisu did it. Like for a moment it was scary for him, but I feel like now it's just like he can even take his natural in the top left. So yeah. Ample is only one expansion right now. That is not enough.
Yeah, and we heard the GG scans come out. This is going to be the last stand of Ample. He's got, what, 15 Goliaths? But it's versus 10 carriers. And we have Crown comboing the units. It's got to be coming. He gets one. Can he get a second one? No. GG comes out. Congratulations to Bisu. He's going to take game one. But that got closer than I was expecting.
Yeah, it was actually way closer because like Bisu position was like so solid, but all of a sudden he lose like most of his army, and he just like he was like counting this transition to the mass carriers that the timing Ample did, Bisu didn't have any interceptors, so it was probably the big trouble of this transition.
Yeah, I remember somebody telling me it takes longer to build all 8 interceptors than it does to build the carrier. So it's not enough to just have the carrier pop out. Like, you've got to wait 2 more minutes or so for them to actually be effective. I think if Ample had taken mid-right instead of taken top-left, he would have had the income he needed to actually survive. But I don't think he was aware that Bisu had already taken top-left, which is why he started expanding there. But regardless, it was a really good comeback from Ample, and he looks pretty solid in TVP. And now that we've got Polyvoid, which is definitely a Terran map in my opinion, I think he's got a pretty damn good shot. Second. So we are just waiting for the players to get ready so we can get into game 2. It's too bad that those drops did so much damage to Ample's econ. I think he would have had enough to overcome the carrier transition, but Bisu did a good job with his Reaver and Zealot harassment, and also the Storm drops were really fantastic. I hope he continues to play that style in this game. We're ready, so let's get into potentially our last map of the series. So, in the bottom right position, our red Terran, it is Ample, and in the bottom left, our blue Protoss, it is Bisu.
Well, Nyoken, you told me Polyvoid is your dream map.
I love this map, man. Like, look at it. Does Terran even need to move to get 4 bases? Like, they take the 3rd base, and it's like, oh, I'll take the 4th base, and then I'll take the 5th base. Like, you don't have to move anywhere to just get 4 bases. I feel like this is every Terran's dream position. Or dream map, I mean.
So, I'm pretty sure I have seen enough games on this map, and Terrans tends to do Barra Command Center. What do you think about that build?
Yeah, that's a really strong build. And I know Ample does play that a decent amount. I think in this specific spawn, it's also pretty good, where you can put the depot right up against the wall, put the barracks below it, and then the command center. So you got a really good SimCity. I think that could definitely be the build that Ample goes for, and there goes the SCV, man. So you called it. It is going to be most likely gasless expand.
Yeah, and Bisu playing almost like no, it's not really similar to the last build because he already made the gateway and then scout. So he's playing this safe, I believe.
Yeah, but there's no gas just yet for Bisu. That means that we're going to have additional zealots. And Pro does find Terran in the first position. He also sees that this is a low ground rack. So this gasless expand is going to be transitioned into a 14 or a 13 gas.
He made the refinery Nyoken.
Yeah, you can't get gas stolen. If you get gas stolen, this build would be miserable. So he does build the refinery, but not going to mine it, or not going to complete it. So it's just going to be a kind of a hybrid gasless expand.
I guess Bisu, after scouting this, is going to make a Nexus, like in the last game, without gas. I'm not really sure if it's going to make a Forge, because there is not really like gas from Terra, right?
Well, he did put down gas, and now Ample seeing the gas, he's going to start mining gas himself. But if he hadn't seen that gas, I think Ample would have just gone for a command center. And we'll see if this can get any damage done. I don't really think so, because the barracks is kind of hard to walk around in this position. You would
He can
take
actually
a lot.
deny the SCV on the command center, but he's not committing.
Yeah, not going to commit there. Cybernetics coming up, and Ample's factory is going to be quite delayed. Probe, going to try and damage this SCV. Wow, Ample does go command center. Okay, so he's going to have to repair this bunker for quite a long time.
Nexus here for Bisu, man. A bit delay from the last game, but this is still like very quick. But you know what? I like Ample position, like eco wise, like he's like in a really good shape.
Oh yeah, he's going to have big econ. He didn't cut any SCVs for this. Like, it's just a delayed expansion a little bit, but Preuss, you know, they rushed the Zealot, and the Zealot really didn't do anything. So this is definitely still a good position for Ample. Probe comes in, gonna block the ramp, and in Bisu's main, I did see that he had cut gas, or cut cybernetics range, and there's the reason he's rushing the Robo.
Oh, Ample making one extra factory. I mean, this is pretty standard when you are doing like barracks command center. But in the last game he did actually a dropship, but in this game, I don't know. Do you think that we can actually expect something like that?
This is just the more traditional opener. You have a lot of options with this opener. Also, you can go one tank with a lot of vultures. You can go 3 tanks and then try and make a push. You can, you know, do a lot of stuff. You can also continue to build Marines and just make it an even stronger push. We'll see what he wants to go for. I only see one add-on right now. If he only gets one add-on, it's just obviously going to be heavy vultures. And okay, he is just going one add-on. So this should be for mines. Just get some pressure out onto the map, get some vision on the map.
What timing is the Terra need to start making the turrets to avoid getting damage from shuttles?
Yeah, about
Because this one is like faster than usual.
It should be about 6 minutes or so, maybe like 6:30, around there. Because this is a faster Robo, I think he's going to need to build it at around 6. Because Reaver's going to be in production right now.
So in theory, he must be making the engineering bay by now, right?
Yeah, he's got it about halfway done in his main, I think. I remember seeing it at the bottom side of his command center. Still no turrets up just yet though, but needs to get them coming along pretty soon. And there are the vultures being banked up. He may actually be going for a vulture run by because of this. I like the pylon placement, scouting for the drops, especially after game 1 where you saw the guy was willing to go for drops.
Yeah. You know what? Like, Bisu wall in the natural is not complete. This attack is actually dangerous if it's actually not having the Reaver at the main.
Yep, but Reaver is going to be out in time, and whether that was a Goon or a Probe, I'm not sure, but it did spot that tanks are moving out. Now remember, Terran does not have double add-on, but he used the SCV to draw the units out of position, and now he's in the main.
Oh my god, he got these 3 vultures in the main, man. That's a lot of workers killed already.
That was a really sick move right there. He's going to knock down so many probes. Ends up getting a lot of his vultures caught at the very tail end, but he killed what, like 9 probes or so? That was really nicely done. This shuttle does not have speed, so he can't just run by the turret. And Ample, he's in a pretty darn good spot now. Force out a lot of pylons too.
Yeah, but like Bisu counterattack with that river, and Uncle is prepared for that. So I don't know, man. Bisu. Oh, that was a capital mistake. Look at this Apollo making turrets like crazy. He don't want to get any damage.
No, but it has speed, and Bisu can run by that one turret. Another Vulture run by! Are you serious? He's gonna get into the natural this time. The Reaver doesn't fire, so he racks up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 probe kills for 3 Vultures?
He's like doing a run by Nyoken. He's gonna lose this
There's
river.
another turret. Oh, he doesn't even unload the Reaver! This couldn't have gone worse. And instantly, once that dies, Ample's like, you know what, dude? It's time to just go kill you. He puts down 2 factories, and this is going to be a timing.
Bisu is suspending, but that suspension is dead, like pretty much. Like Bisu right now is trying like crazy to find some damage, and he's not finding it. Look at this. If we lose this, yeah, to me it's GG.
Yeah, there's another Reaver in here. So, yeah, if he loses this, how do you save your third Nexus? Like, you've lost both of your super expensive units. Remember, there's a turret at the top. Like, he can't go to the top. He's got to try and micro around these Marines. He's focusing the shuttle. Is it going to die? Are you kidding? It survives with 1 health, but still, how does he get out?
He can't get out. Like
he can run over the bunker.
Oh, the bunker is empty.
Yeah,
he
the bunker's
by
empty.
the national.
He can run over the bunker, but he doesn't realize that it's empty. Well, he may be able to get off one final shot somewhere. Oh, there's a Marine. Where'd he come from?
Oh, he survived in the main. Oh!
It's a game of chicken.
God. Still like,
oh my gosh.
Apple actually not even attacking. Actually, Apple is suspending.
Yeah, I can't believe actually Apple's expanding. It's still a fine play because obviously he's in a good position regardless of what he does. But I thought he was really just going to go for a killing blow because Bisu was on 2 gates. He lost both Reavers, and he's going, dude. How do you lose both Reavers, both shuttles, and think to yourself, I'm going to build a 3rd Nexus and go carriers? This is just crazy.
You know what? Ample actually skip scans. He went straight to the science facility.
That is true. Man, this is so ballsy. Because Bisu's got really not much defense at all. But if he doesn't get punished, this will be an okay follow-up. We still got to consider Terran rushed upgrades, so they're still going to have really powerful upgrades, and obviously his econ wasn't that disrupted. So I still like Ample's position, but if he can get to carriers, we all know how strong carriers can be.
Wow, he's finding so much damage with these vultures. Like, he's been so good with this in this game.
Yeah, if I was Ample here and I saw there's only 2 goons for defense at the 3rd base, there's only 3 goons for defense at top left, I'd be thinking like, dude, where's your actual army? Like, even though he doesn't have comm stats, he may be thinking like, this guy went carriers?
You know what, Nyoken? Ample is still on 4 factories.
Yeah, he's gonna.
He actually need more factories to deal with carriers.
Yeah, so around this time, the 10-minute, 11-minute mark, that's when Terran really starts ramping up their factory count, which is why you see the 5th factory coming in, 6th factory coming in. There's no carriers out just yet. There's no chance of this reaching 8 to 10 carriers before Terran moves out. So he's gonna have to make do with just maybe 4 carriers. Maybe if he can even get that.
Rochi to the main, and there is no defense.
Yeah, there's nothing. And Bisu's really gone wild this game. I think he had to do something crazy because of how much damage he took, so I don't mind it. But yeah, he's gonna get punished again by this drop.
Well, finally the carriers are going to get the scout, I guess.
It looks like the dropship is not gonna commit there, and this is how many factories? 8 factories? Okay, so we've got 130 versus 130 basically. dropship was spotted by an observer in the center of the map, but he is gonna move around to top right and then hook around, probably go for a drop at mid left. Carrier count, we've still got just one, looks like. Wow, 12-minute scans. That's quite a long time to go.
What about the grays for the carriers? Did you see any?
I didn't see any. If anything, he's gonna have just +1 weapon. There's the first scan, and he's gonna see, whoa, dude, you've got carriers now? But there's not that many, so he shouldn't be that scared of them.
He's going for it, Nyoken. No?
He's gonna go for it in just a second. He's waiting for probably one round of Goliath, and then he'll go. He's gonna have his 9 factories kicking in. He's gonna have 2-1 probably kicking in within a minute.
Oh, the Drochi is going to the 4th expansion.
Yep, and he's dropping. So this is gonna draw a lot of the units out of position, and that's gonna allow him to push. Oh, he won.
Oh my god, he let the pylon complete.
Oh my gosh. He of course doesn't know that, but we know that. And Ample, he's going to take mid right while all this is happening, so he's going to expand behind it. Exactly what you should be doing, and we should be seeing a move in just a second. He's approaching max. He's even going to double expand. This is one way you can abuse Carrier's lack of mobility, is you just expand everywhere. He's even taking bottom middle.
I never seen that many CCs before.
I actually think Ample may have forgotten that he was building that command center right there, and was just thinking like, oh, I need a 4th base. Oh, I need a 5th base. Well, here we go. 4 carriers. There's no turret set up just now, so at least he'll be able to deny this base for a while. But here comes the massive move out. The 2-1 power spike. The ground army is not scary at all from Bisu. This is nothing.
I don't see that many Goliaths, to be honest.
Yeah, it's okay to not have that many right now. He just needs about 15, and that would be an overwhelming amount.
There is rivers in the high ground. That can be annoying to actually to the Terran here.
Yeah, it is definitely annoying to attack in the high ground like this, but dude, there's no ground army for Protoss. Like, Bisu's near max, and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, where's the supply? Like, I realize he has about 30 supply in carriers, but where else is this 100 supply?
These rivers, man, they are doing work to the Goliaths, Nyoken.
Well, they're doing a decent amount of damage to the Goliath, but he's gonna lose all his reavers. He killed almost no tanks. Terran has 6 bases now. This is a massacre. I don't even know what Bisu can do at this point. He doesn't have Storm. Like, right now he's relying, I would say, on like DTs somehow winning the day for him with there being no scans or something along those lines, but I don't know. There's so many Goliaths.
It's true that there are many tanks, so all these expansions are going to get like are going to die very quick. But there are not many Goliaths, and there are 7 carriers.
Yeah, the Goliath count is actually lower than I expected, but this base is dead. The 3rd base is dead. There's a drop at mid-left. Is that a drop? I think there's a drop at
there's
mid-left.
a drop?
Yeah, there's a vulture drop here, so these probes are getting killed, and we know that there's no way to save them because there's a pylon wall.
Oh.
Bisu's just going to run out of money. It's going to be the same scenario as last game, except the roles are reversed, where Ample ran out of money. This time Bisu's going to run out of money. There's just too many bases for Ample right now. Too much production.
This game reminds me a lot of Bisu against Fantasy, actually. It's so similar.
Oh, goodbye probes. So,
but you know what? The base survived. Ample has like almost the whole map, but the base survived. There are 7 carriers.
He's taking top
he needs
middle.
to deal with that.
He's taking top middle also.
Yeah, he needs to deal with the carriers. I think he can, but I mean, do you see like Bisu can make a comeback here? There's no way, right?
If he can get 9 carriers up, and if he can kill bottom middle, maybe. And the reason I say that is because if he gets bottom middle, you know, at least he can use that as a stepping stone to try and bust the natural. Like, he can fight from high ground over the natural. But it doesn't seem like he's going to bust this base. He may kill the command center, but it's not even that big of a deal because Ample is kind of undersaturated at all the other bases. So he could just transfer SCVs there. Like, he needed to kill that base and secure high ground.
Well, Grace-wise, Ample is 1 and 2. Those are very good grades against carrier. But when they hit like 2 and 3, that's probably gonna be the magic number.
Yeah, once +3 kicks in, you're gonna see these interceptors just get blown up. Like, it is such a massive difference between
Okay, he's losing everything to mines.
Yeah. There's such a huge difference between +3 weapon and +2 weapon when you're fighting +0 armor. It's crazy and that's what Bisu has. He has no armor on these carriers.
10 carriers.
Yeah, and this is, if you're gonna fight, this is where you want to fight. You want to fight over high ground like this.
Oh, Bisu, careful with your carriers.
There's still no +3, so the Bisu can win this fight. Well, I don't know if Bisu can win this fight, but he's trading pretty darn well. I wonder what his weapon upgrades are right now. But regardless, if we look at Bisu's money, look at his money. It's just consistently 20 minerals. He just has no money.
Oh, that was a good speed of the Goliaths.
Yep. Goons. Where are the tanks? Okay, now they're trying to help out. Well, okay, if he can get on high ground here and force a fight on the ramp.
That CC is going to die so fast.
Yeah, but the Goliaths get up here. And they may be able to knock down one of the carriers. Oh, can he get one? Really good stutter step micro there from Bisu to save these carriers. He's doing a fantastic job maximizing the amount of damage. And what I was waiting for is this move right here. It's like, you know, all the carriers are top right. Just go use all your tanks and kill one of these bases. That's exactly what he's going to do.
Bisu need to run out to his base. He doesn't want to lose the only expansion he has running. Well, 2 expansions in theory. But I feel like he's so far. Like, I think the expansion is gonna die.
Yeah, this base can get blown up. And by the way, Ample retook bottom middle, so he's legit got the entire map except for these bases that Bisu has on the left side.
Sandwich?
Mid left is dead. Bottom left is dead. It's a carrier. So we're gonna see a tied score, Eonzerg.
Yeah. Honestly, it was expected after like seeing what Ample did with the vultures. Like, he did so much damage, and surprised Bisu made this far.
Yeah. I'm surprised he got to this type of carrier count after losing his drops. I thought there's no way he'll ever get to this count, but he at least did get there. But it's just a money game at this point. GG comes out, and that means we've got a tied series, 1-1, and I think our last map is going to be Invader, so that's going to be a pretty difficult one for both sides. 2-player map.
Yeah. I feel like Bisu probably going to pull the proxy gate in this one.
Yeah, more than likely that could be proxy gate or at least gas steel. I would love to see the proxy gates in the main, but more than likely if it's going to be pressure build, it'd probably just be forward gate at his natural. And that seems to be a common move on this particular map.
Nyoken, to be honest, Bisu made like a long run in that game because he actually lost like many workers. He lost the shuttles with rivers, by the way. Yeah, I feel like he did better than what I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, if he was able to save one of those bases, whether it was the natural or the third base, I think he would have had a shot, but he just lost too much econ. And of course, Ample had just way too many bases. But actually, Ample had a lot of idle SCBs. Like bottom middle, I remember seeing like 5 or 6 idle SCBs. Despite having so many bases, it didn't seem like his econ was booming that much, if that makes sense.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I would have to rewatch the replay, but You know, I was expecting him to have more factories and more units than he actually did, despite him being close to max. But we are going into game 3 in just a second. I guess there must be some type of technical issue, or maybe players took a bathroom break or something, for us to not
Man,
begin
that was
like
a
instantly.
crazy amount of command centers in a game, Nyoken.
Yeah, that would be like 5 games of me playing, right? I don't think I would ever build that many command centers versus Protoss. Well, this group so far is really delivering. I think the games so far have been great. Like, there hasn't really been any game that was a blowout, other than, of course, the proxy hatch game, which, that just happens. But everything else has been really close. I'm really surprised that Ample's doing as well as he's been doing, Terran versus Protoss, based on what a lot of people were saying about his TVP, even seeing his stats of being, what was it, like 1-7 versus Protoss? But he's playing very well.
I'm happy he's playing so good, to be honest. Like, being like an amateur like that, and I playing at this stage with that many people and performing the way he's doing. Honestly, I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah, and if I was Bisu here, I would be very cautious to play that shuttle style, because he got punished really hard last game, losing both of his shuttles for almost no damage.
By the way, Nyoken. Oh, interested player. Sorry.
All right, in the bottom right, we've got our blue Terran, and in the top left, we have Mr. Bisu.
And Nyoken, in the last game we saw like Ample doing so much damage with Butcher. In this map, I feel like he can double down on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of angles you can run from.
Oh.
You can also go for drops, like the mains are huge, and this could be actually proxy gates in the main. I kind of think it was too slow for proxy gates in the main, but it could just also be outside of his base.
If it is in the main, man, that's almost like all in, right?
Oh yeah, it's super all in, and that's pretty much where I was expecting it to be. The probe timing seemed a little bit too slow for it to get all the way in. And, uh-oh, Ample, he smells something. He's saying, I know what type of map this is. This is a map that Protoss loves to proxy on, and he's going to scout it immediately.
Oh, so he's going to need to bring SCVs to kill that gateway. I feel like it's probably like 6 SCVs to kill it.
Yeah, so if you pull instantly, like right now, I think you can kill it with like, is it 4 or 3? You actually don't need that many, because SCVs deal a lot of damage, surprisingly. But if you pull late, yeah, you gotta have like 6 or 7. This time around he pulls 5, because of course the probe is gonna harass you, just be annoying. He actually might lose that SCV. He is gonna lose that SCV. I can't believe that didn't die. He needs to send more SCVs, man. Like, this probe just does so much damage.
I don't know. I feel like the Zealot is not going to be complete in time.
Yeah, the Zealot is definitely not going to make it out in time, but the probe is what I was most worried about. I thought he might snipe 1 or 2 SCVs. So this was great defense from Ample, but this was a lot of lost mining time. Like, if we look at how much
gas.
Yeah, if we look at how much money Ample actually has, like, he couldn't stop the gas steal. So Bisu maybe slightly behind, like very minor though.
Oh, wow, behind. Okay. But Ample, like, what he does here, like CC first then?
Yeah, he's gonna take a CC. He needs to start killing that gas though. 1 SCV can deal a lot of damage to the assimilator. Okay, now he's gonna start pulling off multiple SCVs. And Bisu, he's just gonna build a Nexus, I guess.
First.
Yeah, I don't know about this. Like, Ample's gonna take a command center, or he could gas if he wants also. But also, Bisu's most likely gonna lose his pylon, and he may be supply blocked at a moment where Terran could go for like a big counter play. you know, like an SCV pull plus Marine move.
But usually when you wanna do that, it's like you're making 2 barracks. Like with only 1 barrack and making like silos like Bisu is doing, I don't really think that that is going to be so dangerous.
Oh, okay, well I can tell you what is dangerous is if he gets gas stolen twice, that's going to be doomsday for him. Okay, he doesn't hit it. Ample, he's just on top of his game. I thought it was going to be command center before the bunker, but he saw the zealot coming. And now the zealot is going to do nothing. Probe. Remember, there is a very damaged SCV somewhere in that mineral line. Okay, none of that matters because the probe got taken out.
Well, Bisu is going to need to play a very clean game here. Ample, man, you need to be careful. That's only 3 Marines.
Yeah, there's 2 zealots out on the map also. He only has 4 Marines once this 4th one comes down. He's gonna get the pylon.
Well, good micro here by Ample.
Yeah. Well done. Bisu's Nexus is already done, so he's gonna get that up and running. And it is not going to be an SCV pull this game. So, everything is just gonna stabilize. We're probably gonna see a second factory come down in just a second. There's the depot, probably, or the racks I mean, probably gonna be a depot in just a second to prevent the run by. And robo follow-up, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I will be surprised if Bisu doesn't make a river here.
Yeah, especially on this map where it drops, or where the mains are so open, you would definitely expect to see reavers. And probe positioning pylons towards the bottom side of the base to spot for drops. I think that's great. In Ample's main, I don't see any smaller buildings going down, like for armory, at least not just yet.
There's one SCV Nyoken going into the Protoss base, and I feel like as a Protoss player, I will not lie to some SCV to see my whole base without the scans or anything like that.
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking is, there's no eBay or anything. Okay, now it just started, but if Bisu had rushed DT after this, I don't think turrets would have been in time. I could be wrong, but that is something that I was thinking. Also thinking about it last game is, he never saw that it was fast robo and it could have been DT. And that would have been a rough
By the way,
moment.
he made 3 silos in total. That's a lot of silos to make in the early game.
Yeah, you didn't get any damage done, but at least they'll still be useful with drops. So I guess that could also be the logic is, you're building all these zealots, what's the most likely follow-up? Probably to be used in a drop combo. But we've got a pylon ring around the map. Gets a little bit more vision, and we did see the support bay coming down.
Okay. I feel like Ample is ready to hold drops, right? Well, actually, it's funny to me, like without the scouting, he didn't make any turrets in the main or anything like that.
Yeah, I think the game progressed much slower than it did on Polyvoid, so he's content with delaying it a little longer. And we do see vultures moving out onto the map. Can they get any mines down and deny this base? I think the answer is going to be... Okay, you get some mines.
Uh-oh. Is Bisu, that wall is not complete.
Yeah, not complete. And we saw what Ample could do with a small opening last game. He did a lot of damage to the probe line. But with all these vultures out on the map, that means there's no mines in the main. And if he just goes for an instant reaver drop, that could deal a lot of damage. He's loading up.
Only 2 gateways yet.
Uh-oh.
What is Ample doing here? He's going out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. This is not a lot of firepower. It's 1 tank, 4 marines, 6 vultures. Vulture is not exactly the most DPS versus reavers or goons. However, the move out... Okay, it is going to turn around. I think what he was trying to do was, again, like last game, force units out of position so he can run by those vultures, but Bisu didn't fall for it this time.
I saw 4 factories Nyoken.
Yep, is the timing.
So if you actually get enough units, he can actually attack that tier expansion from Bisu.
Yeah, and I think that this is actually a smart move. Even though you saw Reaver, think about how much damage you did to... Oh, okay, can't lose your Vulture. Think about how much damage you did to Bisu last game. Somehow he gets in. This is not enough damage. That's 6 Vultures to lose. And that's what I was about to say, is... Last game, Bisu took a lot of damage and still went carriers. If you don't...
5 factories? Did I see one more factory?
Yeah, he's going 5 back. If you just think about what Bisu's playstyle seems to be today, if you just go for a timing, I think it could be great, and that's exactly what he's going for. Oh no, there's an opening, and he sees that this is 6 fact. Well, this is already kind of terrible for Ample. The fact that this factories all got spotted means that Bisu can just start flooding gateways, get 1 Citadel. He doesn't even have to go carriers anymore. And like, he didn't commit that much. It's just a single Stargate that he built.
Oh, do you think that the Stargate was for carriers? I thought he was doing Arbiter.
Oh no, it was definitely for carriers. Like, he wanted to go carriers, but now that he sees what's coming, I don't think he'll go carriers anymore. I think he's just going to transition into Storm.
Well, this time he didn't lose the shot on, so that's an improvement.
Bisu has a lot of gas, so he can afford to go into Storm. He's going to try and buy as much time as he possibly can with these Reavers. Because the tank count never got whittled down, the pushing power is still quite strong. He needs more gates. Wow, he is actually going to still go for a fleet beacon. That's very expensive. That means there's definitely going to be no Storm. He may not even have speed on his Zealots.
Yeah, in 5 factories production, man, I feel like he can get like very quick to that tier base of Bisu. I'm not really sure he's going to have like enough time to actually like get carriers.
I don't think so either, and even if he does, it's 1 Stargate. Terran doesn't care about 1 Stargate. Like, that's just nothing. So...
Oh, 2 shuttles.
Yeah, Bisu needs to buy a lot of time with his shuttle goon play. 7 fact. So this is all or nothing. Okay, it is 2 Stargates, but still. Remember what I was saying about the Tempest game. It takes like 2 minutes or so to build up all the interceptors, and you also have to build the carriers. So this is something like... The carriers aren't going to be useful until 15 minutes, but Terran should already be at that 3rd base by 15 minutes. Is he really going to expand? There's no way, right?
Do you think he actually scanned the Stargate? Does he knows about the carriers?
I imagine he scanned. Like, he's been scanning for observers. I feel like he has to have scanned the main at least by now.
He's making more rivers, so at least Ample is gonna need to be careful about advancing. But yeah, it's a lot of production, man. 7 factories, Ample taking senior spec. Look at this, Ample is slowly working to the tier expansion of Bisu. But yeah. Now in the high ground, it's tricky. Like, if Bisu actually wants to make something happen, it has to be now in this high ground. Yeah, I don't think he can, that's funny.
Okay, he's got to go now because the units are partially on high ground, partially not on high ground. I think this is the best time to actually go for it. But there's so many tanks here. Both shuttles instantly died, which means the Reaver can get picked off easily. Good shot right there, actually, but he does end up taking down that Reaver. And we've got almost even supply Terran versus Protoss. Instant unsiege. Ample's going for the throat.
There is no more expansion, so if Bisu loses this, it's almost like losing the game.
Oh yeah, if he loses this, Terran can start building turrets everywhere. There's no buildable terrain in this particular spot, I don't think. So he must hold this.
Well, there are not that many Goliaths, but 2 carriers is a bit funny.
There's no interceptors. That's the thing, is there's no interceptors. I think the best Bisu can do is try and cut off reinforcements, but unfortunately, he doesn't have any army anymore.
I feel like that army will die to reinforcements, to be honest.
Okay, there's
I don't know
buildable
what
terrain.
Bisu can do. I feel like Bisu actually is dead, Nyoken. I feel like Bisu can stop this attack.
Yeah, all he can do is counter. Luckily for him, there's no tanks here, but he just doesn't have a ground army. Reaver's going to come in here, or that will buy him some time. All the goons are going to die to Goliath. There's turrets now set up. Interceptors just get shredded.
The Reaver died to the siege tank, and I feel like Bisu, man, taking a tier base in the low ground, but he already is in so much trouble. I don't know how he survived this. I don't know how he can hold that. It's an insane army with so many turrets. The carries are not going to do anything.
Yeah, and these pylons aren't going to help him either because now he gets choked up. Okay, that's not where the probes want to go. Goodbye. All of them get killed. Look at the supply. Ample. He is moments away from potentially knocking out one of the favorites to win all of ASL.
I think he did it. I think there are not many carriers. Like the tier base now that Bisu is building doesn't have any workers either, so there is no eco.
There's 4 carriers, but there's 10, 12 Goliaths here, plus SCVs building turrets. Those carriers just popped out, so they don't have the interceptors still.
It's going to be difficult to get up from that ramp, I guess, if we can save some time.
Yeah, that is true.
But there is just no army, not enough carriers.
Yeah, there's no
I mean, even if actually like he managed to hold that, it's going to be that low ground base like exposed. That one is going to die 100%.
Yeah, like this is 100% dead base. There's no chance of holding. That carrier is so close to dying. Oh, the flanking Goliath. And with that carrier dying, I think the GG is inevitable. There's no money for Bisu in about 30 seconds. Look at his mate. He's mined out.
We're about to see Bisu GG against Ampo. He's going to set the record for his TVP to be one of the worst in the scene. GG.
Oh my gosh. Ample, he takes down Bisu, and that means he will be moving on into the Deciders match to face off versus Hiro. And that guy right there, I can't believe that he went for the Stargates when he saw so many factories.
But what was his option exactly, Nyoken? Like, mass shuttles and gateways?
Yeah, he could just build a lot of units. Like you can go, he could try and to scale into Arbiter. Like he has the Stargate. You need the Citadel for speed on your Zealots, of course. You could get Storm if you don't think you can afford Arbiter in time. Like there were a lot of options. Bisu had a lot of gas too. Like when I was talking about the Stargates, he had almost 1,000 gas, so it wasn't like he couldn't afford Templars. I don't know. Maybe he didn't see the other 2 factories somehow. Maybe he thought he could hold this high ground position better than he did.
I mean, I really tip Ampor here, man. Like, he was like slowly working to that expansion. He keeps his cool, didn't overextend. It was really solid play by Ampor now. Actually, he's playing so good today.
Yeah, he played really well, but like, do you see how many hits the Zealot actually got off? Like the Zealots, I think got 1 hit off. I'm not even joking. Like 1 hit. They don't have speed. So what do they actually do in this fight? Like, regardless of whether he goes carriers or storm or whatever, the fact that he doesn't have speed the entire game was a huge misstep. Like those things just didn't do anything for him.
You don't you think that starting the way the game started with a failed gateway, like proxy gateway, like eco wise, he was always like behind the train.
Well, I don't know, because his natural was faster than Ample's, right? And Ample had to pull a lot of SCVs, but we're going into a break, and then we'll be back with our final game or series of the day. This is our final series of the day. Ample taking down Bisu sets us up for a Terran versus Zerg again. This time around, it's going to be Hiro. Actually, this is a rematch from the first game of the day, right?
Yeah, but this time it's going to be a best of 3, Nyoken.
Yeah, best of 3 this time. So at least players will have one game that they can lose before getting knocked out. But very important for both sides, of course. Hiro wants to keep his streak of making it into the round of 8. And Ample, he's looking to make it into the round of 8 for the first time.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, for Hiro, is he actually, like, happy that it's Ample playing, or is he, like, sad that it's not Bisu? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Ample's played quite well versus Zerg, and clearly he's playing well today versus Protoss too. We've got our maps set up. We've got Dark Origin first, Polypoid again, and then Invader. We haven't seen a lot of Zerg games on Dark Origin, especially ZVT, although we did see Effort versus JYJ on that map. You have any thoughts on Dark Origin?
To be fair, I didn't play that much, but no, it's like always. It's like just like a classic 2 players map. I don't think anything is too crazy.
Okay. Well, our players are ready. It's time for our first game in the Decider series. So in the bottom right, our Zerg, it's Hiro. And in the top left, coming off solid victory versus Bisu, it's Ample.
I remember in the last season of the ASL, like Terrans were doing this proxy barrack into factory in most of the games.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really working that much because third players were like doing a Hydra time rush from two hatcheries. But do you think actually Ample can do something like that?
Well, we already saw. Well, we saw a wall off from JYJ on this map, and then he floated a factory down to the low ground. I think we could see something like that. And speaking of 8 racks, the timing of this SCV looks like it could be an 8 racks. Is it? Or is it? Oh, it is an 8 racks. However, look at this. He's scouting so quick.
Yeah. Hiro is experience, man. I guess it's the experience. So he's probably going to do poor first after scouting the A barrack.
Okay, I thought he was, for some reason, not going to go up there. And if you're Ample right here, you are not happy about this. He's going to have to pull another SCV to make sure that he can actually complete the racks. Because unlike him, he is not Flash. Flash's SCVs always pop on the right side. Oh, but does he? No! He is going to lose that SCV, and this is already a disaster.
It is. You don't really. I mean, you don't have that many SCVs already. So, like pulling workers like this to defend the barrack from completion, it's not ideal.
He may kill that also. It's going to take a while for the Marine to complete, and I know Zerg drone micro. Okay.
Don't overstand, Hiro.
Yeah, he's just gonna run away. But overall, this is a really good spot for Hiro. He's got his hatch coming up. He's got, what was that, 210-ish gas. So gonna be 2 hatch play from him.
Yeah, this barrack, I mean, this Marine attempt he's doing, he can already retreat, like, series are in the making.
Yeah, this 8 racks is going to do absolutely nothing. I think he's doing what he should do, which is complete the wall with his racks.
Ooh.
Well, you can't.
You know what? Hiro went greedy here making only 2 Zerglings, to be honest.
Well, so far he's done a lot of damage to that SCV. We've got the depot coming down for the full wall, or close to full wall. Command center just now starting for Ample. And SCV is going to die at a very bad moment, because now Hiro, he can go for a Hydrogen if he wants to. If he wants to play sneaky, he can definitely get lurkers out at a good time. Is that it?
I think he's probably not doing it, Nyoken. Like he's probably like confident in continuing the game like in a normal way, and not really risking it with Dockers.
Yeah.
But you're right. I feel like Refinery is so late as well. Like I feel like he could put like a really good two lurkers timing.
Yeah, and when you rush past lurkers like this versus a guy that's going late comp sets, if Terran scans one time, they may not have energy to deal with the lurkers. So it could have been a good move, especially into a wall like this, because you're going to at least kill 2 depots. Also, you got to consider...
What are you doing? There is no way, right?
Well, yeah, that would be a bit crazy if he moves out with 5 Marines, but he did know that there were only 2 Lings out, and there's no speed, right? Okay, he does back off.
Okay. Well, that was brave by Ample.
Yeah, if this was ladder, you could have ran into about 8 Lings and just instantly lost your entire army. But not gonna get
if
punished.
Ample was actually playing against Son Artos's opponent, he was dead.
Yeah. 100%. So I'm looking at Ample's build, and this is pretty much what he has to do. He's going to Rax Academy, but unlike other Terran versus Zergs where he's rushed the eBay to get +1, he's not going to have that. He's just not going to have as many units as he possibly could have had with, you know, better econ. He's not going to have the +1 power spike, so this is a really rough situation for him.
Well, Hiro here, man, with the three hatcheries. I'm not going to call this like a 2.5 hatchery optimization, but because the game didn't really start that way. But yeah, 3 hatcheries. Really good drone saturation, even if he started with the early pool. And probably we're going to see a like quick for hatchery as well.
Yeah, I imagine the third base should be coming down pretty soon. Ample just has no production, and 2 racks is so little. If you lose any amount of Marines, and Zerg knows that you're on 2 racks, you're in big time trouble. So he does need to start ramping up that production pretty quickly, or he needs to start teching really fast and just sit in his base, one or the other.
Yeah. I'm not really sure if range is going to be ready. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that's at least 30 seconds away. We do have the drone in position to build the third base. And this is 8 mutas. So you can kill these SCVs pretty easily.
You know that bunker is like actually not covering well the natural, so Hiro could like run by the Cernis and like use them to take down the turrets.
Yep, and because he has no range, these Marines are very weak. And Ample or Hiro's gonna get in here, and he's gonna see 1 Rax, dude. Okay, that's a lot of damage. It looks like his mutas just aren't reacting as he wants. He's gonna snipe a few more SCVs, gets 3 more, 4 more, 5 more. Okay, that's a lot of damage.
It's good damage, but he need to be careful to not lose the mutas.
Yeah, but his supply is so high relative to Terran's, like 60 to 50, like that's quite a big deal. Terran actually doesn't have that many SCVs as natural either.
Ample is losing Marines for free here.
Yeah, this looks like it could be a mass muta game and just end it. Terran really just has no production. 2 racks. He really need to have at least 3, and he just still doesn't have 3. At least he has his factory coming up, so he can start building those starports. But I just don't see how he's going to stop these 11 mutas. Like, he barely even has 11 Marines.
Oh, he took down the turret.
Yeah, this is such a rough spot. The Marine's going to move out, but mutas are just going to swoop in and kill some more SCVs.
Oh man.
There's no angle for Ample to really attack from. If he does a move like this, the Marines start getting
Marines are so
isolated.
exposed, like actually Hiro can abuse this.
Yeah, he can just go kill like 3 Marines for free. Okay, he's gonna snipe these Marines. 3 go down instantly. Zerg probably has +1 weapon on their... Okay, may have +1 arm, +1 weapon in just a second. Another turret dies. That turret dies. And Ample, he's just getting picked apart, whereas Hiro, he's got 3 bases running. Like, he's actually got it up and running now. He's got his Queen's Nest.
Yeah, he's not making queen mistake of like just like doing all the mutas.
Yep, there's the armory. I think Ample got kind of lucky that this ends up being mass mutas, at least for now. Because if it was Hydra Lurker and you're going 2 racks Valkyrie into it, they're just going to kill you with Mutaling Hydra. This is so many mutas. He may just end the game with this.
He's going to do a lot of damage to that mate. There is only 2 turrets.
He's drawing all the units out of position, just like what Ample did to Bisu. Draw them out of position and then attack the main base. Turret's going to die. That turret's going to die. And we've got single file Marine trying to save the day, but there's no more turrets to help them. Okay, Mutas just jump on it. Goodbye. Valkyrie pops out in the nick of time. Yeah, that will deal a lot of damage.
But 1 Valkyrie is not enough. You need at least like 3 Valkyries to really die.
Yeah.
To be a treat in this game.
Yeah, and I don't know, did the Mutas get armor or weapon? Because if they got armor, then they don't even care about the Valkyrie.
Valkyrie's down, Nyoken.
Just they don't care whether he has armor or weapon or not. It's just, this is going to be game over. There's just nothing here for Ample. He's getting doubled in supply. Zerg is on 3 bases. The armory's exposed. He can't even afford more Valkyries. So once this dies, the 2 starports can't help him anymore.
My god, Hiro. He's really destroying Ample in this game.
Yeah, he was angry about the Soulkey games, and he took it out on poor Ample there. Really nothing you can do after the 8 racks gets denied. You lose the SCV also. It's just pretty much as bad as it possibly could have gone for him. And that means Hiro, he's now 1 game away from making it out.
Like, it's a bit fair to Ample, like, to be playing such a good games against Bisu, and now, like, Hiro is having a walk on water here. It almost looks like some Terra you could see on ladder, to some extent. But, yeah, Ample actually, like, he played very good until this point. And to be fair, if Hiro didn't scout this early with a drone and, like, kill the SCV from the barrack, who knows? Maybe he like a bunker rush, or maybe like a killing drones from the Zerg it could have been a different game.
Yeah, for sure. Any map where you can just float the racks back and get a solid wall is a great 8 racks map. So it was good game sense to suspect that an 8 racks could be coming, and Hiro punished him really hard. Now we're going into Polypoid, standard of standard maps. Will Ample risk it again, going for something crazy? I don't know if I would want to play on a standard map versus Hiro, because he's just such a macro god. We'll find out as we get into game 2. So in the bottom right, our pink Zerg, it is Hiro. And coming off of the loss on Dark Origin, it is Ample.
I was thinking maybe there is a chance like Ample actually goes mech on this map.
Oh yeah?
I remember I saw him against, like, was Celot not long ago, like. So a mech at some point when mech was like really popular on this map as well.
Yeah, mech always has its moments where it's just flavor of the month or flavor of the year, where it just for some reason makes a resurgence. I don't know if I've actually ever seen Ample play mech. Generally he just does what this does this where he walls off and goes bio, but I would love to see it. It's been a long time since I've seen a mech game.
He's walling outside, Nyoken.
Yep, this is just what he does. We do have Overlord this time. Not going to be a 9 pool or 12 pool or anything, I don't think. It's just going to be typical openers.
You know what, Nyoken, like, mind game wise, that was a great opportunity to do a 9-9 barrack.
Yeah, I was thinking that also before the game started. Was 9-9, I think, would have been great. It probably would have outright killed Hiro because it's such a hard build to stop. And I don't think the chances of Hiro scouting the Minnow twice in a row is likely. So I agree there. And it would have been great. But we'll see where this drone goes to see if it would have backfired. Nope, he's going to go to the left side. So 9-9 would have been amazing here.
Oh,
and we do have
Hiro with the classic 2-hash mutant.
Yep, the classic. So not 2.5 hatch. Not going to be 3 hatch, or if it is 3 hatch, it should be in the main. I guess it could also be at another base. Is there any... So, you know, I play ladder a lot, and sometimes I play Zergs when they 2-hatch like this, they build the hatch in the main. Sometimes they build a hatch at another base. Is there any reasoning for Zerg to do one or the other? Like whether you're building
what open are we talking about exactly? Like 2-hash mutant like this, or
yeah, like this, exactly like this.
It's because they expect you to do 2 barracks academy and cancel their expansion. That was a play actually like very common on Eclipse. But yeah, it's basically that you are expecting the Terran to do 2 barracks academy, so you build the hatchery inside your base instead of an expansion, so it doesn't get cancelled.
Okay, so we'll see if that's going to be the move from Ample here. So far, everything looks like it's going to be his typical eBay opener. In fact, I think that's the eBay at the bottom left corner of his base right now. Ling's going to try and get rid of this SCV ASAP. Oh, good juke right there. Well, now we're getting into the danger zone again, just like on Dark Origin, where he could have the potential to put down a Hydrogen if he wants.
That's an academy, Nyoken?
It should be an academy at the top side of his base. 330 academy or so, pretty standard follow-up.
But with a... Oh wait, engineering bay as well.
Yep. More Lings got built. There was no Hydrogen placed anywhere, so it is just going to be the standard Spire follow-up. We're going to have the second racks come down pretty soon, then I imagine at least third, maybe fourth.
Well, Ample need to be careful, like, to not get any damage, because he's making this build of Engineering Bay. Usually Terran is exposed in the early minutes of the game against Muta. Can get a lot of damage.
Yeah, for sure. And there we go. Actually, a third base at top right on the low ground. This is not going to get scanned for a long time.
Yeah, and there is no SCB out to check these either, so...
Yep, there's the racks. First one coming down. There's another one. So we're going up to 3 so far. Scan goes off. He did not see a hatchery anywhere, but of course the hatchery could be at the top side of the base, so that doesn't really tell him anything that there is a hatch out on the map just yet. There's the 4th rack.
Wow, you're making 4 barracks!
Yep. He's going to do the same move out he did the first time, which is the 6 Marines, medic, probably leave the fire bat in the wall. Never mind.
This is too greedy.
Yeah, you can't make this move. He has 1 rack's production right now. Ling could just instantly counter. Okay, now he scans and sees that the eggs are morphing, so there's no way he's going to turn. He's going to go out now. He's going to put up a bunker, get his turrets in position.
You know what? If he actually defend this without getting any damage, I'm really going to like his position. Because like 4 barracks production against 2-hash muta like this is super dangerous.
Yeah, and it seems like he's not going to get punished at all because the turrets were up in time. I guess there is a slight opening at the bottom side of his mineral line, but he's got to be careful to not commit too far. So far, only getting 1 SCB. Lings...
Oh, the turret.
this is so annoying, but he clutches the repair. Gonna take no losses.
Actually, not very nice defense.
Yeah, that's really good. Muta's going to try, and they do snipe a medic. Well, now it's starting to get wild. SCVs are starting to rack up losses. We know that the Marine count is very thin at the natural, so he racks up another SCV kill. Can he get some more? There's another one. He is kind of cornered here. There's only 4 Marines.
Yeah,
but there's no medics!
Exactly, they're split. They're split.
Those mutas took a lot of damage, though. Okay, he does manage to get out with 4 mutas, but that was a lot of damage to take on both sides.
Still not factory.
Yeah, that's worrisome, because what's the follow-up going to be? Hopefully not just all-in Marine medic with no tech. Well, there's the factory right now. So 720 factory or so, not that late. Again, another medic.
He's losing 2 medics already in this game.
Yeah, he has almost no energy on those medics anymore. A good engagement right there. Gets
never mind.
Gets a couple of Marines, but the Marines hit back. And this time around, much faster hydrogen. I think this was definitely the correct call. Do not want to try and play mass muta into 4 racks with +1 already completed. That muta, good reaction, ends up saving it.
Hiro already transitioning to a Hydra then, but I expect him to still making a lot of mutas because he needs to deal with this army somehow.
Yeah, he definitely needs to whittle down the army, or at least keep the army at bay. Don't let it turn into 2.5 groups. That's one way to do it. Knock down 2 Marines.
You know what? With +1 attack done, at some point he can actually keep the turrets in the main and just go for it.
Well, he's going for it right now. Goodbye, Marine medic. I guess +1 weapon must have kicked in for the mutas, because those Marines and medics got absolutely blasted. And Ample's army has been reset again. He doesn't have that many SCVs in his main or natural. He does have his tech coming though. Starports are about halfway done.
He's going for the main. And +1 attack is done, Nyoken, so he can 2 shots kill this turret.
Yep, this is a really tough position. Marines actually got into a good spot. Didn't go too far forward away from the medics, so they end up picking off one of the mutalisks. Hive is coming. Hydralisks are starting to get out on the map too.
Yeah, looks like Hiro want to hit the natural now.
Man, that's such a frustrating scan. You see that this guy has no sunkens, really, no defense, but you can't get past the mutas. Muta's going to come in for another round into the natural, and Ample's decided enough's enough. We got to go for a counterattack. But he's going to lose a lot of SCs for this. He's also built the science facility on the low ground, and that's going to be denied a little bit. Lurkers, are they in time?
That attack is big!
Yeah, this is a huge counterattack. You know all the mutas are out of position, however, Lurkers get up in the nick of time. No way. No way! You cannot bust into it. Maybe he has +1 armor? He does. But there's way too many lurkers, and the mutas in the back just kill everything.
Poor Ample, man. What a way to lose this game.
Yeah, losing the first group really just pretty much sealed his fate. Once you lose map control versus Zerg at this stage of the game, you're in deep trouble. You've got a Valkyrie out, but I don't think you can kill this combination. Actually, 2 Valkyries out. Okay, actually, the Valkyries, hello, they're doing a lot of damage to the Mutalist.
It feels like almost Hiro overextended.
Yeah, actually, Hiro lost a lot of supply, but there's still a lot of lurkers here. And we still have the threat of Hive, because Hive should be done by now. Building Valkyries means that you didn't build science vessels, so Irradiate won't be in time, or at least not in time to get rid of 6 lurkers.
Yeah, talking about supplies, Hiro now killing the supplies. And man, Ample with this army is being funny, this army is dead.
Yeah, there's, what is it, 6 Marines? He just... I guess he can technically kill this Mutaball just because they're so heavily damaged, but he can't do anything else.
The vessel, oh my goodness.
Yeah, more Lings and Lurkers moving. Damn, there's so many Lurkers. It doesn't matter how many Irradiates you're gonna have, there's just not gonna be enough. He desperately needs to get tanks. Defiler, I would just rally a Defiler across the map. But goodbye, Marines. Nope.
What?
Well, there's the Defiler. All he needs to do is get this one Defiler across the map, and there's no answer. Ample trying his
Kind of
best.
crazy how like 5 Marines can do so much damage with Mythics.
They do have 1/1 upgrades. But there they go. And unfortunately, there's the Wiggly Boy. He's moving in. And any Terran that hears that when they're in a position like this knows that GG is imminent. There is 0 counterplay to this. Not even sure if he... Okay, he does have a Radiant. He's going for a Doom drop, or for a counter drop, I mean. That's his only hope here. He has no way to kill the Lurkers. He has only 2 Irradiates, and there's at least 6 Lurkers. Drop into the natural.
Ooh, this is a good spot.
Yeah, good spot, but Defiler pops out. Lurkers get into position.
Oh, now you
Scourge.
can use a lot of drones.
Oh, he snipes the Scourge, so actually the drop gets into the natural and in the main. There's a Marine still there, still racking up kills. Into the sweet spot at the bottom right side. Ample. He's doing what he can. Did the command center die at the natural? I don't see a big building there anymore.
That's a lot of drone kills, man.
It is a lot of drones kills. Look at the supply, 57 to 65. Like, this is a ton of damage, but is it enough is the question. If the command center is dead, I don't think it's enough. It died, man. The command center actually died.
There's the fighter again. That's it. GG.
So well done from Hiro. He is going to escape this group, but Ample, he played well all day long, taking down Bisu, and you know, his build order in this game was especially solid, but unfortunately, losing that group, that was really just the game changer.
I have to be honest with you. I didn't expect Ample to play so good at TPP, and I didn't expect to be in such a different class with Hiro at the TBC. Like, to be fair, you could tell who was the superior player in this series.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I had good hopes for him, especially after the round of 24, where he had such solid play versus Zerg, but it just didn't translate into anything here. Like, Hiro had his number in all 3 games. Yeah, this is the moment.
He played so good against Queen in the first round of 24.
Yeah, but I don't know what the difference was between him and between Hiro and Queen, but he just never got 2 armies together. Like, if you can't get 2 armies together, like 11 mutas just kill everything. And you stem like this, there's 2 or 3 Marines just gone instantly. Now they're stemmed up. There's another Marine gone. He can just kill everything, and there he goes. Look how fast they die also. It's not like the Marines traded. Like, they just got absolutely crushed.
Yeah. I guess, like, going out like this with that small army, it didn't make too much sense.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe he felt like he had more than he actually had there. You know, he also didn't make any... he didn't, like, pull off, like, 3 or 4 Marines and try and hide them and then like, try and, you know, counterattack the third base. Like, I don't know. It just wasn't as solid as it was versus Queen last week or the week before.
Well, Nyoken Hiro is back.
Yeah, he's back, man. He's always there. He's just always there.
He's a classic. This is not ASL without Hiro, to be honest.
Yeah. So he's into the round of 8, and I think that means we have, what, 3 Zergs, 1 Protoss, and 2 Terran? Unfortunately... Oh, actually, we do have a Protoss tomorrow. We got best tomorrow, so we still have hope that we could get 2 Protosses into the round of 8.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like Best is making it.
Yeah, you would think so because he's so good versus Terran, but the Terran players that he is facing off against, aren't they pretty freaking good? Let me look.
Isn't it Sharp and
Sharp and Royal.
yeah.
Well, it's going to be really tough versus Royal, and actually Sharp looked much stronger than I was anticipating in the round of 24. Like, he had really solid play. And then, of course, we've got Action also in this group. So that's going to be tough. But I am actually really looking forward to Best versus Action if we get that, because of what happened last season, where we thought Action was going to take down Best. But then Best had some miracle games versus him.
Very, like, I remember the games. So many crazy, like holds by Best and like making comebacks. I honestly like. I don't really like get how like Action lose
Yeah, the Nemesis game.
some of the games. Like one of Vermeer, like it's stuck in my head. Like, how do you actually lose this?
Those Maelstroms, wasn't it the Maelstroms that did
Yeah,
ridiculous?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just held like so many Hydras, and Best just traded so favorably. And I think also, wasn't it Best also holding with the Dark Archon at top right on Heartbreak Ridge? I think that also was the Action game versus Action. I can't remember exactly who it was.
Yeah. It was a drop play, right?
Yeah, the drop play. So that's going to be an exciting series. Hopefully we can get a revenge match between them. But of course we've got 2 Terrans in the mix too. Sharp is extremely good versus Terran, and Royal, obviously no joke either. So I would really like to see Best versus Action, and also a Terran versus Terran, Sharp versus Royal. You know, the Big Jip played Royal on ladder just a few days ago on La Campanella. I would love to see Sharp face off versus him on that map.
Yeah. Hiro, man, is back again. Nyoken, you can really kill this guy until you reach the semis.
Yeah, until the semis, and then it's like a guaranteed win for you. But yeah, before then, he's just a beast. Never falls. I guess he had the one slip up versus Soulkey, but other than that, he is just god tier in ASL.
When are we going to know the pairing for the round of 8?
So I think what happens is after Group D, they instantly do the draw, and we'll see who's facing off versus each other.
But it seems like Soulkey and Hiro come from the same group. They can't play against each other, right?
Yeah, you can't play versus somebody you've already played in the round of 16. So they'll be split up.
Okay, so Soulkey most likely not dying to CBC.
Do we not have any Zergs? Oh, we do have. We could have Soulkey versus Effort.
Oh, that is true. What are the chances? Like, they can, Nyoken, because they are like they both like going out in first place.
Oh yeah, that's right. But okay, that's true. We could still have, I guess, Hiro versus Effort. That could be exciting. We could have Soulkey versus Mini. That's possible. Soulkey versus JYJ, that would be a rematch.
Honestly, I would like to see that matchup, like Soulkey against JYJ.
I would also like to see that. I want to see if it was a fluke last season or if JYJ can do it again.
Yeah, I would like to. Honestly, that's probably the matchup I would like to see the most. Like Soulkey against JYJ. Because I feel like Soulkey, man, like it's so good. Like he could take JYJ. I don't know what happened.
I agree. Soulkey could definitely get revenge for sure. We're getting a look at how today went. Hiro beats Ample, Soulkey beats Bisu, then Soulkey knocks Hiro to the deciders match, getting out in first place. Ample takes down Bisu 2-1 in some pretty epic games, and then Hiro kind of just crushing Ample in the final series, but we get 2 Zergs moving on. And we are almost done with the round of 16 Eonzerg. We're going to be coming back, or I'm going to be coming back tomorrow. We're going to have Vadi on the desk returning, so it's going to be nice to get his input on some of the games.
Yeah, he has a lot of knowledge in every race actually, so it's going to be a good day, especially with that many turns.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear from Vadi whether he was like B plus or A minus rank or A rank or something along those lines with every race in the I Cup days. So that tells you all you need to know about Vadi. He's very knowledgeable. Also, was mentioning a lot of things about Terran that I had not considered, especially on the Apocalypse map. So definitely looking forward to getting his input because we've got a very strong Group D. Best versus Sharp and Action versus Royal. This is going to be pretty sick matches.
By the way, don't sleep on Action, man.
I
This
don't
guy is actually like very strong.
I don't sleep on Action, man. Like Action, I'm always rooting for him, man, because I know his Zerg versus Terran is so ridiculous. Like every time he's in ASL, I'm like, please give Action a Terran because I want to see him pull out his monster ZVT versus them.
Yeah, he's a guy with an insane muta micro. Uh, he can be extremely dangerous to Terra players.
Yeah,
I remember
like
he took Flash to a best of 5 series to the 5 game. He ended up losing, but he took it to the game 5.
yeah, Action is ridiculously good. When Eclipse was in the map pool, I was really looking forward to Action's games because that pool first build into double expand, it seemed like he was just unstoppable with that. I remember watching so many Pro League games. It's like you know it's coming, and it just didn't matter. Terrans would just get run over by his superior macro. Not sure if you can do that on any of these maps that we currently have in ASL, but I would love to see it.
I mean, when I saw Eclipse in the map pool, I banned it, Nyoken.
Okay.
I don't know. But it's such a terra map, Nyoken.
I don't know. I have tough time versus that particular style that I just said, the pool first double expand, because you can't attack any of the bases. Like they've sunken it up, and it's like, well, what do? You just got 3 bases. You know?
Yeah, if you actually let the Zerg you don't put any pressure, you don't get any damage done. You're probably like in a bad position. You have to either like mass spend and start to hold with like maybe a mech transition, or I don't know what else.
Yeah, Mech is good on 2-player maps like Eclipse, like Dark Origin. I think it could also be good. But that's it for us today, Eonzerg. Do you have any final words before we close it out?
I mean, man, it was a pleasure to be casting as usual. I really hope you enjoyed the games. It's a good day for the Swarm, so for all the
Yeah,
Swarm supporters, we did it.
you definitely did it. Even though Bisu didn't make it out, which I know you were rooting for, at least you got 2 Zerg players out. 2 very strong Zerg players also that can definitely win it all. And even though I am not a Protoss player, I really want Best to do well tomorrow. Hopefully he can make it out so we can get some more Protoss games in the round of 8. But that's it for us today. Thank you so much for watching, and me and Vadi will be back with Group D tomorrow.
See you guys.